Casey Daniels.
You went out there and said, please vote for me. You debated other people on why you're the better person for the position. Suck it up.
This is the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
Good morning. It is Tuesday, July 12th, and taking a look at some of the stories that are trending this hour. Hunter Biden and his business dealings with China. Also trending, Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. The ketchup giant will no longer extend its naming rights to the stadium. And finally, a Spirit airline plane has caught fire after landing at the Atlanta airport.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second.
Sure.
You know what airline I took to Las Vegas?
I was wondering.
Spirit.
Oh.
You know why I don't get on a plane? Stuff like this. That could have been my plane.
Yes.
I was just like a week and a half removed from that being my plane.
Well, this one was landing in Atlanta, so
yeah,
a little different direction.
You're still stuck on the runway, and the thing is on fire. You know what doesn't catch on fire? A car driving down the road.
Well, I'm glad you made it safe. You're back. It's all good. You can put it behind you, okay?
Forever.
Okay.
Because you know what I won't do? Get on a Spirit airline or any airline ever again.
Ever again. It's 8 minutes after 9 o'clock. That's Rob Kendall. My name is Casey Daniels. And poor Matt Bear. I just got to tell you, I had trouble getting into work this morning. There's some construction on Washington coming from the west side into downtown. It normally takes me about 10 minutes to get into work this morning, 45. You were texting me, hey, you coming? You coming? I'm like, I'm trying. I was the crazy lady sitting in my car yelling at the top of my lungs, the girl in the white Jeep is about to lose her mind.
Casey does this thing, and God bless you because you're such a good employee and such a good coworker, where every time there's some easily dismissible thing you feel you need to prove that it's easily, like, I've never once thought, man, Casey strikes me as the type who would be out on an all-night bender,
right,
just totally dismissing her obligation to the show and to the station. But Casey's sending me pictures in traffic as a what, I'm not going to believe you?
I wanted you to see the nonsense.
No, I understand. And we went through this at our station for multiple years when they had Illinois Street roped off.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest problem is not that, hey, look, road construction has to happen, repairs have to happen. It appears there's long stretches where lanes are closed. And by long stretches, I mean weeks or months.
And nothing's happening.
And nothing appears to be getting done. If you see a handful of men working feverishly, you say, okay, cool. That's got to happen.
Yeah.
But the Illinois thing went on forever and ever and ever and ever, and it took forever to get to the radio station. And now you're experiencing it through the Washington Street delay. So I think we're going to have Matt on tomorrow and try to get to the bottom of what's happening.
I was pointing it out to him on his map. I was like, no, not there. Look, the red line right there. I'm oh, yeah. And, you know, sometimes you and I get yelled at for being the messenger of bad news, right? I did the same thing to him, like it's Matt Bear's fault that the construction slowed me down this morning.
Well, and I was telling you before the show, for whatever reason, it seems construction in this city takes forever, regardless of the project. I mean, the Illinois thing, to me, again, there were just sections that had the cones out for what seemed like months at a time, and there was nothing being done. You would go from one day to the next. There is no tangible progress or attempted progress or tearing anything up. There's just cones. And if you're not going to be doing the construction, why are the cones out?
Remove the cones. Well, if you're stuck in traffic this morning, I feel your pain, and thank you so much for listening. It is 11 minutes after 9. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC, and let's get into some business, Rob. 64% of Democratic voters say they would prefer a new candidate in the 2024 presidential campaign. I know this is shocking to absolutely no one.
It's a New York Times poll, which is what's interesting. So, again, you can't accuse this of being some radical right-wing propaganda piece. It's the New York Times. You can't get any more left than the New York Times. And there are two pieces of data that stand out in this poll. One is the job approval rating of Biden, which is 33%, which is pathetic.
Yeah.
But I think the more astounding statistic is that 64% of Democrats are saying we want another person to be our nominee for president.
Yeah. The poll cites concerns about the economy and inflation, and it stated that the national mood is now decidedly dark.
You saw this in the Bush administration, but it wasn't a year and a half, it took 6 years. It seemed like about 2006-ish, people finally started to say, and a big part of it was the mainstream national media had for the better part of 3 years been invested in defeat in Iraq. But regardless, you saw a point where people said, we've kind of had enough of this. This isn't getting any better. There is no plan to make it any better. And when it is not good and it's not getting any better and there's no plan to make it any better, now that's in some foreign war that really didn't directly affect Americans at home. It was just something you'd see on the news. In the case of Biden, the thing that isn't getting any better and there's no plan to make it any better is affecting every single person every single day, which is gas prices, food prices, not being able to get access to stuff, et cetera. So this is understandable that while with Bush it took 6 years, Biden, it's a year and a half because it's affecting every single person every single day.
Yeah, more than 3/4 of registered voters say the United States is moving in the wrong direction, but Biden has repeatedly said that he plans to run for re-election in 2024. Just a reminder, he's currently 79, and he is already the oldest president in American history. If he were to win, if he were to win, he would be 86 years old by the time he left office of his second term.
Yeah, and then coming up a little bit later in the show, we're going to play you clips because we've all said, who are these 81 million people who legally voted for Joe Biden? And Fox News has a little section on their website where they have found a bunch of Democrats and are asking them about their vote for Biden. And we're going to play you some of these clips because I think their response is super interesting.
You're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC, and our friend in South Bend taking a stand against the media.
This guy is just, what's his name? Jake Tesla?
Teshka.
Oh, Teshka, yeah. So you remember this guy.
Yeah.
He was this weirdo state rep from South Bend who put out some response to the Indy Star article.
They were asking his opinion on abortion.
Right. He's a state rep who's about to vote on abortion. Indy Star had the audacity to ask the Republicans, all 110 of them, hey, you're about to vote on this. Would you like to give us your opinion? This guy and the Republicans then went out and played the victim. Even though they're the supermajority, they're going to control exactly what happens. The Democrats don't matter. And so we said, okay, why don't you come on our show? Nobody's going to accuse us of being some radical left publication. And then this guy proceeds to, this is one of the most bizarre things I've ever had happen in the 20 years I've been doing radio. He starts bombarding our show in real time with phone calls. Then when we tell him, hey, loser, we're not answering the phone for you, he gets the hotline number from someone and then starts bombarding the hotline. And then we tell him on the air, again, psycho, we're not answering the phone for you. Then he proceeds to say, I don't even know about your show. And then admits he's been on, or the radio station, then admits he's been on with Guy Relford. So clearly he does know and listen to the station. And now he's back again because we tried to offer him a time to come on. He wouldn't accept the time. Now he's back attacking poor Nikki Kelly and the Indiana Capital Chronicle because they're running a story, ran a story that said, look, Jim Bopp, who's one of the leading attorneys on abortion-related issues in the entire country, who's from Indiana, has laid out legislation that other states have used as a blueprint, and the Republican Party here is rejecting that. So what are you guys doing? And now, let me read you this quote. It's no wonder nothing good ever gets done at the State House because these people, the Republican elected people, are obsessed with what is being reported on their own voting record. Let me read this. And by the way, the article was great. Nikki Kelly's going to be with us at 9:30 to talk about this because Indiana Capital Chronicle does a great job reporting. This is Jake. What is it? Jake? It's not Tesla. It's Jake Teshka, who is this lunatic state rep from South Bend. With a headline like that, who needs an Indiana Democrat comms department? No wonder they couldn't get any legislators to give interviews. Off to a great, quote, nonpartisan start.
Well, he said that he didn't want to give his opinion to the Indy Star because they would write a hit piece on him. And then the Indiana Capital Chronicle debuted.
Yes.
And now he's commenting that they're being
Nikki Kelly's great. Nikki Kelly's been at it for 20 years. No one is ever going to accuse Nikki Kelly of being some hatchet man for anyone, much less the Democrats. And so we're going to have Nikki Kelly on at 9:30 to talk about this. These Republicans, this is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen, where you have said for 30 years you're going to do something. You had a 2-month head start. Now you won't do it on time. And when you get asked, what are you going to do? They just go into some whine fest about liberal media, even when it's people like us or Nikki Kelly, who are the furthest thing from super liberals.
Yeah. Well, like you mentioned, we will hear from Nikki later this hour. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Your Echo Smart Speaker has just gotten smarter. Ask Alexa to activate your WIBC News Flash Briefing skill.
Alexa, what's in the news?
Here's your flash briefing. From the WIBC mobile newsroom, this is local news for Indianapolis.
Gas Buddy says the statewide average.
Get the latest news updates on demand.
I'm John Herrick.
The administration should be going
Stan 93
Chris Davis, 93 WIBC mobile news.
When you want your news in a flash, get it with no waiting with Alexa at 93 WIBC.
Think back. Think back to when back or neck pain didn't rule your life. Now, think about standing up to back pain today. Because you can. With highly skilled care from IU Health, Indiana's only nationally ranked healthcare system. Our spine experts use an integrated approach to care and the latest surgical and non-surgical methods, so you can move away from back pain and on with life. Schedule a safe in-office appointment or visit us virtually at iuhealth.org/spine program.
You might be working with someone to manage your wealth, but is the relationship working for you? Join Edelman Financial Engines on Tuesday, July 19th at 3 p.m. or 8 p.m. Eastern for our brand new virtual event, Why Choosing the Right Wealth Planner Matters, presented by best-selling author Gene Chatsky. You can register now at planefe.com. You'll see why all financial planners are not created equal. Gene will show you why having the right partner can have a big impact on your financial future and how to know if your advisor is looking out for your best interests. Don't miss this important virtual event. Join us for Why Choosing the Right Wealth Planner Matters with Gene Chatsky on Tuesday, July 19th at 3 p.m. or 8 p.m. Eastern. There's no cost to attend and no obligation. Register now at planefe.com. That's planefe.com. Edelman Financial Engines. From here forward.
The reality of owning property is that it can sometimes become a burden. Maybe you own a vacant, condemned, or foreclosed property. Maybe you need to move fast for work or a family emergency. Perhaps you inherited a home, got a divorce, or just can't maintain the home you currently have. Getting free of that burden with cash in hand is easier than you think. Enhanced Property Solutions makes it simple for you to sell your property fast for cash on the date you pick. Any condition. No realtors, no fees, no hassles. EnhancedPropertySolutions.com or call 317-676-2050.
Ooh, McDonald's sounds pretty good. Especially since a double cheeseburger and small fry is only $3. That might be the move. Wait, a 6-piece McNuggets and small fry is also just $3? Tempting. But then the Daily Double is just $3 too. Sheesh. I guess good things do come in threes. Except any size Coke. That's only $1. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any of the offer or combo meal.
Dell's Black Friday and July sale is here. Power productivity with a tech refresh, now with up to 45% off top-rated laptops like the XPS, along with our special deals on business desktops with Intel Core processors. Get big savings on the latest servers, storage, monitors, and more with free shipping and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Upgrade today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
MVP's bonus days are here for pros. For 12 days, pros save big and MVPs get even more. Because MVP's Pro Rewards members can earn bonus points to redeem for rewards. Earn points on every dollar spent up to $1,000 and get up to 3 times more points when you shop select brands and products. Find MVP's bonus day savings from July 11th to the 22nd in-store and online. Exclusively at Lowe's. Exclusively for pros. MVP's Pro Rewards program subject to program terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/L/pro loyalty terms. Subject to change.
Trust 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning to help keep your AC running strong. Call 855-1-HOUR or visit onehourair.com.
Always on time, all you
Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
The amount of money our clients receive with a simple cash-out refinance is life-changing. Learn more and get pre-approved at thehomeloanexpert.com. NMLS number 1326241.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
I gotta tell you, I can't stand that guy.
And Casey Daniels.
I'm in love, and I don't care who knows it.
On 93 WIBC.
She's a maniac,
Double-digit increases on everything from eggs to poultry. Nearly every food item is now more expensive. Cereal, for example, has increased by 13% in the past year. Eggs, 32%. You're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. And do you think the 81 million people that voted for him are still happy about that decision?
Well, this is the question that we have asked on this show numerous times, is who are these 81 million people? Mm-hmm. And a follow-up, if you are a person who believes that Joe Biden got 81 million legal votes, how is it possible that this many people have turned on this guy this fast?
64% of Democrats say they don't want to vote for him again.
Give me a break. So Fox News at least did some legwork on this and went out and found some people who are willing to bravely, openly admit they voted for Joe Biden. Mm-hmm. And we wanted to play a couple of them for you because I think it's some fascinating insight. And the things that surprise these people are what is most interesting to me. So in our first little clip here, it turns out this person's very surprised to learn being and promoting socialism only makes the poor poorer and living harder. Mm-hmm. I'm shocked.
So back in 2020, it was the first time I ever actually decided to vote, and I did vote for Joe Biden because of all the promises he had made. His main point was he's going to help the poor people, but and that the stimulus check. But we didn't get the full stimulus check that he had promised us. He didn't keep any of his promises. He's not helping the poor. The poor are getting poorer. I'm the poor, and I'm getting poorer, so I can barely afford to eat. Groceries are expensive. Gas is expensive. Like, how is gas $5 a gallon?
Gas, motorcycles, bicycles, loans, houses, fast food, restaurants, furniture, televisions, meat. Price of everything has gone up.
Yeah, but this is the problem, and I'm not saying that I have some grandiose solution to this. This person has never voted before. Mm-hmm. And this moron gets to screw it up for the rest of us. And I guess that's just the way society operates. Mm-hmm. But it's like, come on, lady. You honestly thought this meandering old dolt who may at best had half his marbles left at the time of the election was going to be the guy that was going to make you less poor? Mm-hmm. In your world? And I think that's what bothers me the most. In this woman's world, a bigger stimulus check would have made her less poor. Mm-hmm. So she still doesn't really get it.
She's not understanding how inflation happens.
Right. Now, in our next clip, it turns out this wizard of smart was shocked that Biden wasn't the moderate he said.
I started noticing that I made a huge mistake voting for Biden really just a couple of months after Biden took office. And it was a combination of a number of things. Part of it was just the handling of the pandemic. It was the handling of the economy. It's inflation. It's because I voted for someone who's essentially furthering Marxist ideas in our country that I regret voting for him. I mean, it really was a terrible choice.
Regret won't help you now.
Everything he campaigned on, why are you surprised he was a Marxist? Everything he campaigned on was radical, extreme leftism.
He kept his promises.
He did. He's done everything he said he was going to do. Yeah. I don't understand how people can say, well, it wasn't what I thought I was going to get. And then this last person is shocked to learn that it turns out the Democrats don't actually want your life to get any better and want to keep you dependent upon the government.
Growing up, I thought that Democrats were for everybody, you know, especially, like I say, specifically for Black people. And I kind of had that, I was programmed in a sense with that Democratic, you know, savior type of situation. Going into, you know, the 2020 election, I was all for Biden. That's who I voted for. I was like, okay, Biden's going to have change. He's, you know, for everyone. And I was underneath the impression that he was going to do what he was going to say he was going to do and not, be lying. I just found out the hard way, unfortunately, that, Biden isn't who he says he is, and that it seems like Democrats, in a sense, they just want to keep us in the same spot, in the same place, more so dependent on them, dependent on the government. And I just feel like as a whole, we're just stagnant. Black people, we're kind of trapped in the vicious cycle of believing what Democrats tell us. And that's what I was for my whole entire life. I believed everything they told me. I believe they're going to make things better. And if you look at the track record of history, they really haven't. They haven't done anything for us, for anybody, really.
I kind of feel bad for him because he believed it. He believed the lie that was being fed to him. He said Biden isn't who he says he is. No, he's a big fat liar.
Yeah, but that's a product of the public education system, right? How do you lack the critical thinking skills? And I agree with you. I think that person was being genuine in the sense of I have always been taught this, thus I believed this. It was ingrained in me.
Believe what people are going to tell you.
And give this person credit. They are now willing to see this and walk away from it. But it is really an indictment of the public education system that you lack the critical skills necessary to work through yourself until you get hit in one of the worst economies in American history and American society is crumbling right before us to go, wow, gee, Democrats really don't do what they say, and they really want to keep us down. No kidding.
Yeah.
All right, when we come back, our good friend Nikki Kelly, who was so rudely treated by, what's-his-face, old...
South Bend
Tesla,
guy.
Tesca, whatever his name was.
You're going to rename him eventually.
Anyway, the Republican Party, they won't tell anybody their views on abortion, despite the fact they're going to vote on abortion here in a couple weeks. We'll talk about that with Nikki Kelly, the special session, all the things going on behind the scenes. Coming up next, Kendall and Casey, 93 WIBC.
Furniture Installers of Indiana has been the premier choice for office furniture installation for over 30 years. They've outfitted some of Indiana's largest companies with quality office furniture and can handle your offices too, no matter how large or how small. Need storage? Furniture Installers of Indiana offers climate-controlled warehousing. They'll configure your office space and even remove furniture to make dealing with your office space easy. Locally owned and operated. Furniture Installers of Indiana at FurnitureInstallers.us.
Interest rate hikes are cooling housing price increases, but prices are still high. If you want to maximize your equity, now is the time to reach out to Mark Dietel. Maybe you're worried about costly repairs or upgrades needed to sell your home. With Mark Dietel, there are no required costly repairs. Pick your move date. Stay in your home after the sale, stress-free, while you close your dream home. There are no long-term contracts, and you can cancel at any time. Listen to what Eddie in Mooresville had to say about working with Mark Dietel. I wanted to sell my rental property to maximize my equity now in case prices start to cool. I heard about Mark Dietel on the radio and hired him. Everything he claims on the radio is true. Mark is smart and aggressive. He gave me multiple offers on my home in days, and we had it sold in 2 weeks for the high price I wanted. Call the agent I recommend and trust. Mark Dietel guarantees multiple offers in 3 days for full market value, or it's listed for free. Call Mark Dietel 317-755-4232. That's 317-755-4232. Or go online to markdietel.com. That's Mark, DIETEL.com.
Oh, McDonald's sounds pretty good. Especially since a double cheeseburger and small fry is only $3. That might be the move. Wait, a 6-piece McNuggets and small fry is also just $3? Tempting. But then the Daily Double is just $3 too. Sheesh. I guess good things do come in threes. Except any size Coke. That's only $1. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
America's leading internet provider just got even faster. Switch to Spectrum Internet, and you now get starting speeds of up to 300 megabits per second. Faster speeds for streaming, faster speeds for gaming, faster speeds for working or learning, all with 99.9% network reliability. So no matter what you do online, you can do it better, safer, and now even faster with Spectrum Internet. Visit Spectrum.com for details. Based on internet subscribers among top ISPs, speeds may vary. Restrictions apply.
Hi, it's Steve Mann. Have you heard the commercials for the Mark Patrick Stop Smoking seminars? And they said only $49.99 and it could work for you. So I thought, that's not even a week's worth of smoking. So I went. And guess what? It did work for me. You know, my friends and family are still amazed. I quit smoking. I didn't have cravings, anxiety, or weight gain. Listen, I don't know how it works, but I know it works because I'm living proof, and it's 100% guaranteed. So what do you got to lose? I'll tell you what you got to lose. A very bad habit.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and stop smoking now without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Only $49.99 guaranteed. Designed to work without anxiety, irritability, or weight gain for only $49.99. Become a non-smoker. That's right. Seminar times are 8 to 10 p.m. on Thursday, July 28th at the Hampton Inn and Suites in Fishers, and 2 to 4 p.m. on Saturday, July 30th at the La Quinta Inn and Suites South in Indianapolis. Registration 30 minutes before seminar.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
What's next? Sunny and 78 downtown. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 9:32. The House committee investing the January 6th riots at the U.S. Capitol holds another hearing today. The panel plans to drill down on the role extremist groups played in the riots, in particular the Proud Boys, Oath Keepers, and the Three Percenters. Another hearing was expected to follow on Thursday, but that might be postponed. Fighting continues in Ukraine. Russia is getting military help from Iran. Fox's Jill Nato.
National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan says Moscow's getting ready to get armed with drones, a.k.a. unmanned aerial vehicles, or UAVs.
The Iranian government is preparing to provide Russia with up to several hundred UAVs, including weapons-capable UAVs.
Sullivan said it's not clear if those drones are already in Russian hands, but he did say Iran will be training Russian forces as soon as this month. In Washington, Jill Nato, Fox News.
Thursday is the opening round of the British Open at St. Andrews in Scotland. Two-time champ Tiger Woods is returning to action after taking some time off to heal up some nagging injuries.
My body certainly can get better, but realistically, not a whole lot. You know, it's been through a lot, and at 46, you don't quite heal as well as you do at 26.
He'll tee off just before 10 o'clock tomorrow. And now the stock report. The Dow is mixed at the opening bell. The Dow is down 141 to 30,999. The Nasdaq is up 42 to 11,926. And the S&P 500 is down 7 to 3,849. I'm Kurt Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Are you feeling the pinch of higher prices?
Costs may be rising, but with Golden Oak Lending's fixed rates, you can give yourself a raise.
James Hawkins here, president of Golden Oak. You can offset today's high prices by using the low interest equity in your home to pay off credit cards, make home improvements, or simply put cold hard cash back in your pocket.
It only takes a few minutes to see if you can save hundreds. Our average cash out customer saves $904 each month.
So what are you waiting for? Lock in our low rate while you still can. Start saving money and skip 2 mortgage payments.
Call your local loan officers at 317-706-GOLD while there are still millions of dollars available. Plus, you pay nothing out of pocket.
That's right. If we can't close your loan, the appraisal is no charge.
Get relief from high prices by calling 317-706-GOLD today.
Golden Oak Lending cured my blues.
NMLS 114937.
Live stream Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, and Hammer and Nigel during their shows on WIBC's social media, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Drop in, comment, and engage from 93 WIBC.
So what in the world is going on with the Indiana General Assembly in this special session? Let's ask one of the best in the business. 93 WIBC, it's Kendall and Casey show. I'm Rob. Casey's here. We say hello to our good friend Nikki Kelly of the Indiana Capital Chronicle. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
I love what you guys are doing, and I hope no one has held that against you yet. But all the time, we are using your stories. We're plugging you guys. This new Indiana Capital Chronicle covering the State House is great.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
How has the response been? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people, and we'll get to this in a second, who are mad that you guys are doing the work. You're doing the digging. You are great journalists, and there's now a embedded group of people covering Indiana politics and government.
Yeah, I mean, I think with most things in life, like 95% of the reaction has been extremely positive and supportive. There's always a few people who don't like a headline or think a quote is not necessary. But, I try to look at our coverage as a whole, and I'm very pleased with it so far.
Well, Indiana Capitol Chronicle is the website, and obviously the big story you guys are covering, one of them right now, is this special session, which has since been delayed, obviously, since the last time you were here. You ever remember a special session being delayed?
No, I mean, technically they were going to do a special session. You remember last year they were going to come in like November, December and pass a bill on COVID liability. They had one hearing and realized the bill was a mess. So they were like, no, we'll wait till January. Frankly, this special session is unique in a lot of ways, not just that it was delayed. I did a piece last week and said basically almost every special session since 1970 has been because our budget isn't done.
Yeah.
So when you have a totally independent issue that's coming up for a special session, it's very rare.
Nikki Kelly's our guest. She's with the Indiana Capitol Chronicle. All right, so you guys got the treatment the other day that other news media agencies have been getting from the Republicans, which is very few Republicans willing to go on record, answer their opinion on abortion, then blame the media, say, oh, we're not going to give you the answer because you guys are going to use it against us. And it was the same guy that we got into it with that came at you guys, Tesla or Teska or what is his name?
Representative Teska?
Yeah.
I've never had any problems with him before. He apparently didn't like a headline of ours and said that, made a comment about it. I pointed out that we tried to interview him multiple times and he did not respond.
Well,
so.
At least he didn't incessantly call you like he did us.
I would have loved for him to call back, and I'd still love for him to call back. We've called dozens and dozens of Republicans to find out where they stand on abortion. And I just think everyone's sort of waiting to see what the caucus position is. But I would think they would have thought these things through and have their own personal convictions. And that's what we had hoped to hear. I do want to give a shout out to Representative Jim Lucas, who did respond and said, for instance, he said, yes, I believe there should be exceptions for rape and incest and life of the mother. And so those are the kinds of details we are trying to get at beyond the sort of catchphrase of protect life and pro-choice.
Well, has that ever happened before? Because you've been doing this. You've been covering State House for almost 20 years. Has there ever been an issue where people are like, nope, not telling you my opinion?
Oh, sure.
Really?
Years ago, when they leased the Indiana Toll Road under Mitch Daniels, people were very nervous about saying where they stood on that. And then, and I do remember there was a member from my area who did tell me he was going to vote against it. And later, he decided he wanted to vote for it, but he felt like he couldn't because he had already been in the paper saying he would vote against it. So, yeah, I mean, that definitely happens.
Are you surprised that this is almost universal, though? I mean, that you mentioned Lucas. I know John Jacob has responded to at least the THR and the Indy Star inquiries. But other than that, why are people so afraid to give their opinion? That's why we elect you. Give an opinion. It's your vote.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, that all I can come up with is they're waiting to see the caucus position and they don't want to be out of step or figure out how to spin it. If they say, I really want a bill that does this, and then the bill doesn't do that,
right.
They're kind of pinning themselves in.
Nikki Kelly's our guest. She's with the Indiana Capitol Chronicle. Are you hearing any inklings? Because I tell you what, the one that got my attention was Holcomb coming out. You can maybe add on to this a little bit because I know you guys have been going back and forth as well. That Holcomb comes out and says, I have no red lines. There's zero way you're going to convince me Eric Holcomb, who is part of the Indianapolis establishment wing of the Republican Party, is going to sign let's say, for example, an all-out ban on abortion.
Well, we might find out. I think he's having some other public events and several reporters of, various outlets will try to pin him down a little more. But I do think it's important for Hoosiers to know exactly where he stands. Again, personally, he should be, as the lead Republican in the state, kind of trying to guide this or at least state his position on this very important position, but he hasn't so far.
You're one of the best in the business, and I love watching videos of old police interrogations. I think they're fascinating. And so you realize in these old police interrogations, if the first approach doesn't work, they try another one, and then they try another one and another one. Is that kind of how you are as a reporter? Okay, didn't get an answer on that one. He didn't answer the question worded that way. Let's try it this way.
Absolutely. And other reporters will pick up on that in like scrums we do with an official is, one reporter will try this, then the second reporter will follow up. There's a infamous, I guess, interview a bunch of us had with Mike Pence back in the day when he wanted a business personal property tax cut, and we kept trying to get him to say, well, where is that money going to come from?
Right.
Like, and he just wouldn't. And someone transcribed the entire thing, and every single person, he'd go, well, I'm still not going to answer it, and it was just reporter after reporter after reporter trying every way to get him to come out and say how he would fund his proposal.
Well, don't feel too bad. As somebody who once worked under Mike Pence for as the pharmacy board director, we couldn't get a lot of answers from him either, and we worked under the guy, so don't feel too bad. Nikki Kelly's our guest. She's with the Indiana Capitol Chronicle. So there's this other aspect to the special session, which is now getting no attention, which is why they'd originally called the special session, which is this inflationary relief thing. This just seems to be making more people mad than it is helping, especially when you guys ran the article the other day that said less than half of the money from the original tax cut has been doled out.
Yeah, so there was already an automatic taxpayer refund earlier this year, $125, and as of like a week and a half ago, there were still several million Hoosiers waiting for that. In the meantime, we're talking about another one of $225, and who knows when that would come. I mean, they're not even meeting till the end of the month. It would probably be months after that before people got it. One thing I will say that we're waiting very excitedly for is the fiscal closeout. It should either be this week or next week, and that will show us definitively how much money the state has on hand as of June 30th when the fiscal year closed. And I think they might be a little, I guess, hesitant to show how big that number is. I mean, because we've tossed around $5 billion and $6 billion, but that was projected.
Right.
Those are estimates. So when they actually close out a fiscal year, that is literally how much money the state has in reserve. So I think everyone's really interested to see that number.
Now, I used to ask you these sort of questions, and you would obviously do what a good reporter does, say I don't offer an opinion because I cover the news, but now you're an opinion writer over at Capitol Chronicle, Indiana Capitol Chronicle, so you can do this. Have you been able to figure out why or speculate why the Republicans will not come off the gas tax? Like, that just seems like they have so much money, as you just alluded to, and it seems like such an easy, even if it isn't the best solution, it's the one everybody can get their head around and they go, look at what we did, look at all the money we're saving you. Is there a reason that you have been able to come up with that they will not take the easy win that's right in front of them?
I mean, the only thing that I can surmise from chatting with members and from talking to political experts is that the gas prices are a political issue in the in the fall elections, and they don't kind of want to lose that political issue. Although I think it would still be a win to say, hey, look, the federal government is screwing you, but we're helping out.
Right. I mean, I had about a 20-minute conversation with my state representative, and it was like I might as well have just been pounding my head into this microphone for 20 minutes. I just, you guys are on the ground on this, and I cannot figure out why anyone, I mean, the conservatives, the more liberal wing of the party, they're unified. No, we're not coming off the gas tax.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't their idea, so they're going to go another route. And that's fine. I mean, I jokingly suggested, there is a concern, and this is a fair concern, that, just because you take that tax off doesn't mean that the retailers actually have to give you that benefit. They still set the price.
Right.
And so, if you take off 33 cents of a, state gas tax and then plus the sales tax, will the cost really go down 50 cents? They don't have a way to intrinsically judge that. And so that is a concern. But, I was joking, fine, then send everyone a gas card. Then
Sure.
I know I get X number of relief. But they also are pointing out that there's more than just gas out there that's hurting Hoosiers. And that's, again, playing into the larger election piece of inflation, which is a big problem for Hoosiers. So they are looking at this reserve and saying we can give them some help and still, come out against inflation.
Everyone always seems to be hurting but the government. It's always amazing how that works out. A couple minutes left with Nikki Kelly from the Indiana Capitol Chronicle. So we've been covering this, obviously, talking about the special session, the abortion thing every day, because I maintain 20, 30, 40 years from now, this is going to be one of those moments where everybody who covered it said, yeah, I was there. I covered this. I mean, to me, it's going to rank right up there with property tax caps in 08, 09, probably even more important than that. You've been around this a lot longer than I have. You've been at the State House, obviously, a lot more than I have. What is your opinion on this? Is this some historical thing that we're going to look back on and say, this was a huge issue and a huge period in Indiana state government?
Yeah, it's a huge deal. And, it would be a big deal even if it was just $1 billion tax cut of some kind. And then you add in the, decades old debate over abortion and sort of trying to figure out those details. It's going to affect Hoosiers, for decades to come.
I love the Indiana Capitol Chronicle. I hope that, again, as I said, has not been used against you. We do love what you guys do. And by the way, what are you working on now? Anything you can tease for us? Anything we can find out today on Indiana Capitol Chronicle?
Ooh, we're working on some, obviously, I feel like we're running a lot of abortion stories.
Yeah.
We're looking at issues such as some of the legislators who were defeated in May are still going to have a say on these major issues. We're looking at some stuff going on with Representative Victoria Sparks and teacher shortage issues. We're trying to cover the gamut.
It's a great website, IndianaCapitolChronicle.com. Nikki Kelly, thank you, my friend.
Thank you very much.
93 WIBC, it's Kendall and Casey Show.
Ooh, McDonald's sounds pretty good. Especially since a double cheeseburger and small fry is only $3. That might be the move. Wait, a 6-piece McNuggets and small fry is also just $3? Tempting. But then the Daily Double is just $3 too. Sheesh. I guess good things do come in threes. Except any size Coke. That's only $1. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any of the offer or combo meal.
Ever get those midday cravings, but you can't decide what to snack on? With over 6,000 fresh, healthy, irresistible snacks, Nuts.com has you covered. A family-run business since 1929, Nuts.com has provided the freshest, highest quality snacks and foods for almost 100 years. Don't be fooled by the name. We offer a wide variety of the most delicious dried fruits, sweets, trail mixes, and more. All our snacks are carefully sourced to ensure we're offering the freshest ingredients on the market. We get cream-of-the-crop top picks from America's best farmers, colossal-sized nuts and fruit bursting with full flavor and ample nutrients. Our nuts are roasted daily, and we ship fast for ultimate freshness you can't get anywhere else. Right now, first-time customers can get free shipping on their orders. That's free shipping on your first order by visiting Nuts.com today. Don't wait to satisfy those cravings. Go to Nuts.com for the freshest, tastiest snacks you and your family will love.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, above your eyes, below your eyes, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor, you've visited urgent care over and over again, and it's always the same thing. I know. Let's try antibiotics and nasal sprays. But the sinus infections keep coming back. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of Indianapolis Sinus Center called balloon sinuplasty. Imagine the relief of not having to deal with your sinus infections anymore. Set an appointment today with Indianapolis Sinus Center and find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Call 317-528-9650. 317-528-9650. That's 317-528-9650.
Dell's Black Friday and July sale is here. Power productivity with a tech refresh. Now with up to 45% off top-rated laptops like the XPS, along with our special deals on business desktops with Intel Core processors. Get big savings on the latest servers, storage, monitors, and more with free shipping and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Upgrade today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Research shows listeners don't like it when ads interrupt their music. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customizes home insurance, we made this ad optional. If you want to skip this ad, remove your left earphone. Liberty Mutual customizes home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
If you're missing this informative ad, you must love wasting your cash.
It's the easy and smart way to save.
Now it's all been said, so if that earphone was out, put it back in your head.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Once in my life, I have someone who needs me, someone I need.
Hey, Casey, I got a question for you.
Yeah?
Have you ever heard of a cupiosexual?
No. Well, not until last night. And I thought about this. Every year, Lake Superior State comes out with a list of words that should be removed from lexicon of our, vernacular. And this may be one for future.
I'm not sure it's an actual word. I think it's a word this person has just made up to describe their own insanity.
So we're getting into micro labels now.
Oh, is that what we're doing?
That's what this is called.
I thought we were delving into insanity.
Cupiosexual. It falls under the asexual umbrella.
Oh, so Mock used to do this all the time, and it would drive me crazy because there's only so much of it I can take. But every so often, I will see these libs of TikTok accounts.
Yeah.
And I'll see it pop up on Twitter. And there's one that's so bizarre and stupid that I say, we must play this because these people are out there in the societal ether. They are wandering amongst the masses. They are voting. They are influencing others. They are a thing.
Yeah.
Right? And our theory is you be whatever you want to be. Gay, straight, trans, whatever. But if you're going to throw it out there on social media and do it as some sort of celebratory dance, then there's a chance we will put it out there as well and we will laugh at you.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Okay.
Oh. People who like Cupid and cupcakes. No, that is not what it means, you stupid head. Oh, well, they still like cupcakes, probably, right? Maybe, but everybody's different, all right? All right. Well, what does this mean? People who identify as cupiosexual fall under the asexual umbrella. Hey. People who identify as cupiosexual do not feel sexual attraction towards others. But they do wish or want to be in a sexual relationship with someone and or want to engage in sexual behavior. Meaning, cupiosexual friends may not have sexual desires or feelings, but they want to have them and still engage in them. And not every cupiosexual friend is the same as another cupiosexual friend. But we love our cupiosexual friends! Yeah!
Wow. That is some...
I know it's good when Kevin's laughing. Because Kevin is Mr. Stoic over there in the producer's chair. This is a real human being.
Yes, it is.
And this person has gained enough traction that they are drawing the attention of others. And so we play these to, one, let you know that these people are out there, so be aware. But two, these people are influencing other young people. This nonsensical gobbledygook that you just heard is registering with a certain percentage of the population.
Cupiosexual. So if I get this right, that is a person who doesn't want to have sex, has no sexual desire,
maybe,
yet still engages in sexual
it
activity.
Could be. I have no idea what she said or he said.
You know what it sounds like, Rob? Cupiosexual.
What?
Menopause.
I just felt your day would be so much better if you heard that, and I feel like I was successful.
Box checked.
The frightened look on your face during that whole thing. I'm glad we have the camera up now so everybody can see it.
Never heard of it before, but thank you for that. It is Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Good morning.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 38,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Smart homeowners know that proper maintenance of their home's AC can save a bundle in the long run. Trust our comfort specialists at 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning to keep your AC running strong. A proactive tune-up can actually help your AC run more efficiently and save you money on your electric bill. Call 855-1-HOUR or visit onehourair.com. We won't leave you waiting. Sing it with me.
Always on time or you don't pay a dime. Always on time or you don't pay a dime.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
Do you plan on living on a more liberating budget than Social Security is going to provide when you retire? Do you know how to make Social Security work best for you with your other investments?
Singer Financial is a strategic wealth management and financial planning partner that helps aspiring retirees plan, dream, and get that life that they want in retirement. Singer Financial specializes in strategizing and equipping you to bring you the visions for retirement to life. Singer Financial can help you make the next chapter of your life whatever you want it to be. Go to singerfinancialgroup.com or call 317-852-9153. That's 852-9153 and learn how the Singer Financial Group helps people just like you pursue your vision of the good life in retirement.
Investment advisory services offered through registered investment advisors Howard Bailey Securities, LLC, and AE Wealth Management, LLC. Working with Singer Financial cannot guarantee investment success or that specific financial goals will be achieved.
Hello, Indianapolis. Looking to save money on your wireless bill? You can when you choose Consumer Cellular. Sign up today and you'll get the exact same coverage as the leading carriers for half the cost. This gives you direct access to the widest, most established cellular networks available. Consumer Cellular offers flexible monthly plans with no contract and simple, affordable service that's perfect for your lifestyle and budget. Featuring a wide variety of top-of-the-line phones from Samsung, Motorola, and Apple, you'll find a phone that's perfect for you. Everything is backed by a 100% risk-free guarantee, plus 100% U.S.-based award-winning customer support. Switch your talk, text, and data today and save up to $250 a year. Right-size your plan and downsize your bill with Consumer Cellular. Visit consumercellular.com/Indianapolis to start seeing the savings today.
America's leading internet provider just got even faster. Switch to Spectrum Internet, and you now get starting speeds of up to 300 megabits per second. Faster speeds for streaming, faster speeds for gaming, faster speeds for working or learning, all with 99.9% network reliability. So no matter what you do online, you can do it better, safer, and now even faster with Spectrum Internet. Visit spectrum.com for details. Based on internet subscribers among top ISPs, speeds may vary. Restrictions apply.
I don't always black out when I'm drunk.
My kids can't tell that I'm high, so it's okay.
I'm not an alcoholic. I don't drink in the morning.
I still have a job, so my drug use isn't a problem.
I can stop using whenever I want.
Don't ignore the signs of addiction. You don't have to wait until it's too late to get help. At Landmark Recovery, we're here to provide affordable and effective addiction treatment. Call 866-LANDMARK or visit landmarkrecovery.com to get help today.
Coming up in 2 minutes, more shootings overnight in Indianapolis. The plea from police as a teenager is shot and killed. Plus, the search continues for a missing family out of Indianapolis. And how many Hoosiers now are infected with monkeypox across the rest of the state. All that and more coming up from the Shepherd Community Center studios after Fox News Radio at the top of the hour. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 10 o'clock.
More aid to Ukraine. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. In addition to all the military assistance like missile systems, the U.S. is sending $1.7 billion to help Ukraine pay healthcare workers after Russian attacks left some hospitals either bombed or closed. Next week, Russian leader Vladimir Putin will go to Iran for talks amid concern that Iran is going to provide drones to help Russia's war in Ukraine, some of them armed.
Our information further indicates that Iran is preparing to train Russian forces to use these UAVs, with initial training sessions slated to begin as soon as early July.
That's National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan. The U.S. has gone on the attack in Syria, targeting 2 terrorists with an unmanned drone strike today. Central Command in a statement says one of the 5 ISIS leaders in Syria was killed, one of his associates wounded. Tonight, President Biden will take a flight to Israel for a Middle East trip that will also take him to Saudi Arabia.
Reports over the weekend indicate Russia will likely halt all gas supplies to Europe amid the ongoing war in Ukraine. With rising global fuel prices, Biden's visit to Saudi Arabia will be a chance to address the kingdom's oil exports. While in Saudi Arabia, Biden will meet with Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, a man he called a pariah during his campaign.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Jerusalem. In an hour, the president will meet with Mexico's president. We just got a COVID update. The head of the CDC says a new Omicron variant may make up 2/3 of cases. It's more contagious and able to evade our vaccines and immune systems. In 3 hours, there'll be another Capitol riot hearing in the Democrat-led investigation.
The hearing today and likely next week may be the last ones expected, but new evidence and more people interested in talking could alter that course. Today's hearing is set to explore ties that existed between far-right extremist groups and former President Trump, leading up to the January 6th riot.
Fox's Gernal Scott, the former president, in an online post this morning, says the investigation is relying on fake and made-up stories. America's listening to Fox.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
More shootings, more fatalities. It's sunny and 79 downtown. I'm Kurt Darling from Moss Roofing. Here's what's trending at 10:02. 2 people shot in separate shootings overnight. One of them, a teenager, near 42nd in North Arlington this morning.
They always are. A lot of people are resorting to violence, and that's something that we don't need in our city.
The teenager, 15-year-old Sedarion Edwards, was killed. No suspects yet, say police. A father and his 3 kids are still missing after having disappeared last Wednesday in Indianapolis. They could be anywhere by now. The plan was for the 4 to take a fishing trip together. Kyle Mormon is the missing father. His mother tells Wish TV.
He did not fight this hard to get full custody of these babies for something to happen to them, or for him to, it's not Kyle. This is totally out of character.
Police urge you to call 911 if you know where they are. Now 7 cases of monkeypox in Indiana. The State Department of Health says the illness can last for almost a month, and you're still contagious until all scabs from the rash that it causes fall off. A man from Clarksville cheated investors out of millions of dollars. Donnie Burgess reports.
Anthony Leonard spent 6 years using false bank statements and other bogus financial info to convince investors to put their cash into his software companies. He used that money for expensive dinners and trips with his wife, but that all caught up to him. Leonard is charged with wire fraud and money laundering and is headed to federal prison for 3 years. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Your life has likely been touched in some way by the opioid addiction crisis. Now Indiana is getting $507 million from an opioid settlement, and Indianapolis counselors know how much they'll get.
Additional appropriations totaling $3,762,263.
That'll go towards hiring deputy coroners, help provide treatment, and buy Narcan for cops and medics to help stop ODs. I'm Kurt Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Tony Katz for Moss Roofing, MOSS, mossroofing.com, the family-owned business in its 2nd generation of taking care of the roofs of Indianapolis and all over central Indiana. They do full roof replacements, residential or commercial. You've got storm damage, you talk to Moss Roofing. And their financing, they've got a plan that works for everybody's budget. So yes, now is the time to get that roof taken care of. And if you need siding, they work with James Hardy Siding. We're talking about the low maintenance, fully painted, 15-year warranty on the finish, James Hardy Siding. When you go to sell your home, your house is going to be worth more money because you will have increased the value with James Hardy Siding, and it holds up better in the Indianapolis weather. Talk to the family at Moss Roofing today. 317-784-3227. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 784-3227. 784-3227 or online at Moss, MOSS, mossroofing.com.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by thehomeloanexpert.com.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
The Republican Party in Indiana sees zero problem in record spending, in record taxation.
And Casey Daniels.
You went out there and said, please vote for me. You debated other people on why you're the better person for the position. Suck it up.
This is the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
Good morning. Today is Tuesday, July 12th, and things that are trending this hour. Shoppers prepare. It is Amazon Prime Day today and tomorrow. Also trending on this Tuesday, hashtag Taco Tuesday. Remember to include the picture of Jill Biden. We'll get to that later in the hour. Also trending this hour, Tiger Woods. He has criticized the PGA Tour players who have been lured to play in the LIV golf tournament, saying, I just don't understand it.
Okay, little lady, let me take this one.
I knew you wanted to get into that. Go ahead. Say a thing or two.
So, of course, it is the British Open this week. Mm-hmm. It is at St. Andrews, which is the
150th anniversary.
Yes, this is an incredible week for the history of golf. St. Andrews, really the first golf course, recognized golf course in the world. It's the home of golf. So all these legends are back. And the LIV tour, and we didn't get into this yesterday, I had it on the template, is this upstart tour funded by the Saudi Wealth Fund that is paying ungodly sums of money for golfers to leave the PGA Tour and go play on their tour. And I mean, you're talking life-altering amounts of money. We're not talking like, well, this guy made $5 million on the PGA Tour and now he's being given $7.5 million. No, we're talking like guys are getting $125 million, the upper echelon players like a Bryson DeChambeau or Dustin Johnson, for 4 or 5 years worth of work. You would be an idiot not to take that money. You're talking generational changes in, like we're talking 5 generations from now will reap the benefit of this choice. And yet, despite the fact that we sell arms to the Saudis, that we have international business dealings with the Saudis, that we have, international relations with the Saudis, this now golf is the hill we're going to die on. Like selling arms that kill and destroy people and things to this country. No, that's okay. But the golfers, we're really going to punish these golfers who make life-altering decisions when there's nothing illegal about doing business with Saudi Arabia.
They're independent contractors. They can go work for whoever they want to work for.
Absolutely. And now it turns out it looks like the Justice Department is investigating the PGA Tour over certain practices. I've got that on the template.
Maybe we'll get into it more later.
But the point is that there are certain golfers who have taken this holy roller, holier-than-thou approach to this Saudi golf tour, and they're like shaming these golfers who have gone over there. And this week what they did was really disgusting. They banned Greg Norman, who is the head of this Saudi golf tour, from being a part of the champions ceremonies at the British Open, where all former champions are invited to be. Greg Norman won it twice, and they said, no, you're not welcome. You're not welcome to be here. So because the guy engages in legal behavior, that because you don't like it, you're going to act like he didn't win these tournaments. Greg Norman's one of the greatest golfers that ever lived, won the British Open twice. If anybody deserves to be at the celebration of golf in the British Open,
it would be him.
It's Greg Norman. Yeah. And so now you've got Tiger Woods, who...
Did the LIV tournament ask Tiger to join?
Supposedly the LIV, now you don't know what's real and what's not, but supposedly they offered Tiger Woods $1 billion. Okay. $1 billion with a B dollars to be a part of the tour. And he said no, because money is not an issue for Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods is a billionaire. It doesn't matter to him. He can stand on some phony moral high horse and lecture other people because he has infinite money. But excuse me, I'm not going to be lectured by Tiger Woods given his multiple public, rather suspect renditions of personal behavior. Everything from, fleeing the scene of your own house and then getting your car bashed in by your wife with the golf club because of your personal behavior.
Indiscretions.
His driving under the influence. We don't know what happened the last time when he nearly killed himself and a whole bunch of other people because he was driving allegedly 90 miles an hour in a 45-mile-an-hour zone. So excuse me if I'm not going to take moral advice from Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods is the greatest golfer that ever lived. What he did from 1997 to 2008, arguably the greatest thing that ever happened in the history of sports that didn't come from a horse, other than Secretariat. But so that's all fine, true, whatever. But this idea that you're going to lecture people on what they do in their personal life, legal, law-abiding behavior to make money, give me a break.
Rob Kendall off the rails, the golf edition this morning.
God, these guys just ruin everything. It's the British Open. They're all there, whether you're LIV, PGA, whatever. They're all there this week. It's the most sacred grounds in all of golf. Let's just enjoy the week. Jeez.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Speaking of the Saudis, President Biden is getting on a plane to go there and ask them for stuff. Oil. Just little stuff like oil.
Let me repeat. It's okay to sell arms and buy oil from people. That's just fine. But golfers,
that's where we're going to draw the line.
Guys.
Hey, let's talk more about the Bidens, and in this case, Hunter. He could face prostitution charges for transporting hookers across state lines. Let me ask you a question, Rob. Prostitution.
Yeah.
Still illegal, correct?
Other than in Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I would like to point out that at once upon a time, we used to have a brothel in Nevada that listened to our show. I believe it was the Chicken Ranch brothel was the name of it. And I used to correspond with the madam there at the Chicken Ranch brothel.
Of course you did. All for the name of the show.
But I had to up my game a little bit once we switched over. I didn't want you to think less of me. So I assume they're still in business and rolling. But yes, other than in the state of Nevada, the prostitution is indeed illegal, I believe.
Well, the first son has spent $300 or $30,000 in 5 months on a girlfriend experience.
So what has happened here is the 4chan guys, and I used to know a guy who was one of the original 4chan people.
Yeah.
You want to talk about people that could hack your entire life like that if they wanted to? Nothing for anyone is ever safe. Just remember that. Nothing, if you have put it in anywhere other than a flip phone, it is not immune from being hacked.
If it's digital, it's out there.
So these guys have allegedly hacked into another aspect of Hunter Biden's bizarre, weird life, which is why all these new photos are popping up. Then one of him weighing the crack, the one of him naked in the pool.
Did you watch that video?
Of him with the crack?
Yeah.
Yes.
Weighing the crack?
Yes.
Yeah. If you Google it, Hunter Biden weighing crack, boom, YouTube.
And by the way,
up.
of course, now we've all heard the audio of Joe Biden bragging about how strong his criminal reform bill in the 90s was on crack, which, by the way, disproportionately affected African-American people and punished them disproportionately. But that's neither here nor there. This guy is a skis bucket beyond belief. And now one of the things that has come out, apparently, and by the way, this guy put everything on the cloud, whatever the cloud is.
He backed up everything.
On all these, what was it, like we reported yesterday?
40 different devices.
40 different devices?
Yeah.
How did you... I mean, this guy's an idiot. He's a skis bucket beyond epic proportions. And one of the things that's come out is he allegedly spent $30,000 in a 5-month period on prostitutes. That's $6,000 a month.
Yeah. Let me point out one of the weirder points of this story.
That's not it.
He wrote a check. Now, I've never had a transaction with a lady of the night.
Yeah. Have you ever been offered?
I would not take a check if I was, but how does that happen? Like, does she write her driver's license number on the back of the check like it's 1985 at the grocery store?
What do you put in the memo line? Is it services rendered?
He put medical services in the memo line. That's what Hunter Biden wrote. So it's frowned upon morally, but it is illegal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where is the investigation into this?
Yeah, well, where's the investigation? The guy is weighing crack on video. Like, he has so much crack, he's weighing it.
And just a reminder, last weekend, he was at the White House celebrating our nation's birthday right there on the balcony with the president.
And begs repeating, because we have new people coming in all the time. By the way, hello to everyone watching on the YouTube feed. If you'd like to watch the program, Kendall and Casey, WIBC on YouTube, also Facebook, Twitter, the live stream is up. So hello to everybody there. As we talked about before, the issue here is not that the president has some loser son or some loser relative, because you can't be held accountable for what other people do.
Especially an adult who's 52 years old.
Sure, it's not that. unless you're in cahoots with the guy and you're using each other to make gobs and gobs of money based on your being the president's position inside the United States government, of which there's essentially irrefutable evidence now that was taking place and that Joe Biden was keenly aware of what was happening. In that, it's like, I always view this about families. Families are off limits unless they get involved in the politics. It's like Ivanka Trump, Jared Kushner joined the administration. Donald Trump is out there actively campaigning for his dad. Okay, you've now thrust yourself into the forefront, family members on board. If you have a wife or a husband who just goes to their job and lives their life, or certainly minor children, totally 100% off limits. But when you have a kid who is intimately involved in business dealings with you that he got based on your position and those people's interpretation that we will curry favor with the U.S. government by doing this, then this is all fair game.
Well, and the business dealings that you speak of involving countries like China, Ukraine, Russia. So while the hooker story may be salacious, that's burying the headline.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC, 16 minutes after 10. Thanks for being here this morning.
Traffic's a bear. Matt Bear is a beast.
On the north side, 465 east is a parking lot for Meridian. Also, we have slow traffic from 82nd Street all the way up to 860.
When you need to get from here.
If you're coming in from Hamilton County, it's going to be tough.
To there.
Into bridge construction at 465 and 60.
Matt Bear, mornings and afternoons.
It's going to be tough getting home tonight, but you'll be binge watching Stranger Things before too long.
93 WIBC.
Guys, if you need an annual health exam, check out the Low T Center to get your complete health assessment. They'll check all of your levels, not just your T level. In most cases, it's completely covered by your health insurance. And if you don't have insurance, it's less than $100 for a full lab panel and office visit with the medical provider. And they give you a complete health assessment. Low T Center, specializing in men's health. Go to lowtcenter.com right now. Book online. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
On August 11th, finally returning to Carmel for one night only at the Palladium, the greatest big band of all time, the Glenn Miller Orchestra.
Pennsylvania 65000.
An evening of jazz, swing, and timeless classics. From New York, the Glenn Miller Orchestra.
Pardon me, boy, is that the Chattanooga Choo-Choo?
Yes, yes, train 29.
Boy, you can give me a shine.
Tickets on sale now at the Center's box office or online at thecenterpresents.org. Presented by DDA in collaboration with the Indianapolis Star and WIBC FM 93.1. The Glenn Miller Orchestra, August 11th at the Palladium.
Every search you make, every click you take, they'll be watching you.
Tired of companies like Google and Facebook watching everything you do online? There's actually a simple solution. DuckDuckGo. It's an all-in-one privacy app with a built-in private search engine, web browser, one-click data clearing, email protection, and more, all for free. Download the app today and get the most comprehensive privacy protection with a push of a button. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
Dell's Black Friday and July sale is here. Power productivity with a tech refresh. Now with up to 45% off top-rated laptops like the XPS, along with our special deals on business desktops with Intel Core processors. Get big savings on the latest servers, storage, monitors, and more with free shipping and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Upgrade today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
How can you listen to this wacko?
And Casey Daniels.
Yeah. Yeah, baby.
On 93 WIBC.
So we started off the show today letting you know about this new New York Times Siena College poll that said 64% of Democratic voters saying they would prefer a new candidate in the 2024 election. And now there's this progressive group that is going to start a campaign that no more Joe. Don't run Joe.
Here is my question about all of these groups, because they're everywhere. Where does all this money come from? Like rootsaction.org is this group's name. They've allegedly got an email list of 1.2 million people, and they're going to spend six figures on a digital ad campaign encouraging Biden not to run again.
Yeah, it's supposed to start the day after the midterm elections.
I'd like to feel like I'm pretty up on the news. Like I pay attention. Clearly, we do a radio show every day. I read a lot. I've never heard of these people, and yet they've got enough money laying around to do a six-figure ad buy. Where does all this money come from? And if you're a donor, I always think like if you're a donor and you give to, and this is why I don't give to anything other than local candidates. State, I can't even think the last time I gave to anybody statewide because the Republicans are a total mess. But like even a local candidate, okay, my $50 donation bought 10 yard signs or 100 door hangers or whatever. If you're giving to something and you say, let's say you gave $100 to rootsaction.org and you found out, yes, they're using your hard-earned money to encourage Joe Biden not to run again. I don't know. I'm kind of feeling ripped off on that because that's not getting someone elected. That's not helping get someone elected who's going to push an agenda or an America or a state that you envision it. Seems like I'd be a little upset that that's how my money's being used.
They're changing the narrative. I think the really interesting thing about this group is that in 2020, it's the same group that was supporting Biden to run.
We've made an egregious mistake.
And now they're turning a whole 180 saying, don't run Joe.
But the biggest issue they have with this guy, well, other than the fact that he's not getting things done, is they are trying to put it on his age. They're trying to say age is a huge factor in not supporting another Biden run. And I thought this was interesting because it dovetails into David Axelrod.
Yeah, the former Obama advisor.
Yes, who was kind of the architect of Obama Inc. Election, re-election. And so obviously Biden was the vice president. So this guy would, while maybe not completely in the tank, would certainly have had a relationship with Biden. You wouldn't say, boy, that guy's a total Trumper through and through. And even he was on, I think it was CNN. And even he made the point that Biden's age is a major concern for many people on considering whether to run again.
President Obama was under siege as well at this time in his presidency, and there was hand-wringing and quiet meetings going on as well. But he was also 30 years younger than this president, and that is a concern, the ability to run a rigorous, vigorous campaign and manage the presidency at the same time when he's in his 81st year. And I think that's a legitimate question, and it's one he's going to have to consider when he toes up to the line and makes the final call that he's going to go.
So, yeah, Biden's 79 now. During 2024, he'll be turning 81 years old. And now Axelrod is pointing this out. We talked about it yesterday. A lot of these polls are coming out, and people are saying that he's too old.
Yeah.
And is that ageism? Is it discrimination?
No, it's not. Let's do a little exercise for people listening at home. So Biden would be what, 81, 82? All right. 82 when he's sworn in, 81 when he's running, something like that.
His birthday's in November, I think.
Yeah, okay. So let's just say take the most together 82-year-old you know. Like whoever that person is. Just be thinking in your mind, or someone who is about that age, maybe 83, maybe 81, whatever. Would you want that person for 4 years? The most together person you know in that age group. Would you want that person running the United States of America for 4 years?
Yeah.
Now, there's a good chance that the most together 80-something whatever you know, is their mental faculty is far greater than Joe Biden. Now, much less in 2 years,
right,
which is when he would be entering that phase. I mean, I'm not trying to be cruel, but I'm trying to talk in terms that everybody can understand. Most people would not want the most together 81, 82, 83-year-old person they know, because that's supposed to be your retirement years, and that is for a reason. The body, the mind, etc., starts slowing down the older you get. That is science, that is nature, that is mankind, that is human. That is not ageism, much less a guy with mental issues already.
And physical ones that we have witnessed, falling off a bike, tripping upstairs. Now reports coming out of the White House saying that he shuffles his feet because he's a trip hazard.
This is a serious, it's going to sound ridiculous, but it's serious. If Joe Biden were not president of the United States, let's say he were not Joe Biden and he were your neighbor, and you knew and observed all the things that we know and observe about Joe Biden, would you leave that person on their own for any length of time? I'm serious. Like, that's a serious question to ask yourself. If all the things you know about Joe Biden, would you leave that person living alone on their own for any length of time?
No, you'd probably head over to care.com and
Well,
see if
that's my
somebody
point.
could check in on him.
This is my point. I'm not saying he's not a person who couldn't live on his own, but you would not say, boy, we're not going to hear from Joe for a week. Everything will be just fine. You're not letting Joe Biden in his mental capacity take cross-country trips somewhere. Why is he allowed to run the country?
Right. And, you know, another thing is we really did not see him run a really vigorous campaign.
No.
He spent the campaign in his basement.
Yes. And there's a reason for that.
Right.
Because he would be saying, repeat the line on the teleprompter.
So we have the conservative voice of Indiana coming up. Micah Beckwith is going to join us.
So we got two things we got to get to. One, I am fascinated to get, because I think Micah is a great voice for conservatives. He's so popular. These events he puts on get great attendance. Where are the conservatives at in terms of this bull crap the Republicans are pulling about refusing to say where they stand on abortion? Like, if I am a conservative, but I'm a whole bunch of things, conservative, libertarian, whatever you want to call it. But if I am, the traditional conservative, I am livid at this point because I was promised all this stuff. And now it's time for the rubber meets the road. And all you're getting is whining and excuses from the people who are in power about why they won't tell you what they believe. And, Mike has a big event tonight with Todd Rokita. And so, of course, I would
Micah does?
Yeah. So I would probably be shot on sight if I got within 30 feet of Rokita. So I'm going to ask Micah some things that I would like to talk to Rokita about.
Okay, have him ask on your behalf. He's Rob Kendall. My name is Casey Daniels. It is 93 WIBC.
Now with Xfinity, you'll get unlimited internet with gig speed and supersonic Wi-Fi. With a 2-year internet rate guarantee, no annual contract required, and no equipment fees. Talk about knock your socks off. Ooh, plus a free Flex 4K streaming box. It's like hitting the streaming jackpot. It's all just $50 a month when you add Xfinity Mobile. $50 a month. A price that's truly jaw-dropping.
Oh, literally.
The speed you need at a price you want. Value that's simply bananas. That's the new Xfinity Supersonic Bundle. It's kind of a big deal. Go to Xfinity.com/gig, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store to learn more.
Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. New gigabit internet customers only. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity Internet. After 24 months, regular rates apply to all services and devices.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and stop smoking now without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Only $49.99 guaranteed. Also, let Mark Patrick Hypnosis destroy unwanted food cravings and lose the weight. Seminars Thursday, July 28th at the Hampton Inn and Suites in Fishers. Weight loss seminar 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 8 to 10 p.m. And Saturday, July 30th at the La Quinta Inn and Suites South in Indianapolis. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 to 4 p.m. Registration begins 30 minutes before seminar.
What is the kingdom of God? Pastor John Gable of Tabernacle Presbyterian Church in Indianapolis.
In the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus offers a rather curious listing of those who enter the kingdom of God. The poor in spirit, those who mourn, the meek, the pure in heart, the peacemakers, and the persecuted, among others. It's an unexpected list that includes those the world often classifies as rejects and outcasts. It is this countercultural Jesus that we seek to follow at TAB, whose message runs counter to our culture of self-centeredness and self-absorption. How do we follow this Jesus at TAB? Come find out for yourself by joining us in worship or visiting us online at tabpres.org.
Tabernacle Presbyterian Church, 34th Street and Central Avenue in Indianapolis, invites you to worship Sunday morning at 8 or 10 a.m. If you can't make it in person, tune in to Sunday with Tab, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WIBC, or find us online at tabpres.org.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 38,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
My name is Taylor McLean, and my brother saved 5 lives. In 2016, when my brother, Hoosier race car driver Brian Clausen, tragically died in a racing accident, he became a hero because of his decision to be an organ donor. That decision has inspired countless others to do the same.
He didn't just give somebody his heart. There were several people that were recipients of him, and that's powerful.
NASCAR champ Ryan Newman sat down with Indiana Donor Network and shared how signing up to be an organ donor is bigger than one person.
I mean, to think about what you can do for yourself is one thing, but what you can do for so many others is powerful. And I'm just proud to be a part of what Brian and his family had started in Indiana Donor Network and the Driven to Save Lives campaign.
Learn more or sign up as an organ donor at driventosavelives.org.
There's never been a better time to look at a cash-out refinance. Apply online today at thehomeloanexpert.com.
NMLS number 1326241.
Listen right here this weekend to Everyday Wealth with Soledad O'Brien and Gene Chatsky, presented by Edelman Financial Engines. For airtimes, visit everydaywealth.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The topics they'll cover next. It's sunny and 80 downtown. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 10:32. Another hearing on the Capitol riots today. Fox's Jared Halpern.
Testimony today is expected to look at the role groups like the Oath Keepers and Proud Boys played in the violent Capitol breach last year. A committee aide says former President Trump turned to radical measures to stay in power. Today's hearing is the only public session expected this week after an hours-long closed-door deposition late last week with former White House counsel Pat Cipollone. On Capitol Hill, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
The Kremlin saying that Russian President Vladimir Putin will go to Tehran next week to meet with his Iranian and Turkish counterparts. The meeting is part of a process aimed at enforcing a ceasefire in Syria. Putin is also expected to meet one-on-one with Turkish President Erdogan on the sidelines. I'm Kurt Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Tonight down on Union Street, I'm thinking back, baby, you and me.
So how much longer are the conservatives going to put up with the Republicans refusing to show their hand on abortion? Let's talk to the voice of the conservative movement in Indiana. 93 WIBC, it's Kendall and Casey's show, and when we say voice of the conservative movement, we meet our good friend Pastor Micah Beckwith. Micah, how much longer are you conservatives going to put up with the Republicans refusing to say what they're going to do on abortion?
Well, hey, I think the conservatives are making a huge push in the Republican Party in Indiana right now. I mean, saw what happened at the convention, and whether you like Diego or Daniel Elliott or not, the conservatives, those were the candidates. And conservatives are saying to the establishment rhino elite, hey, we're coming for you. You guys have drug us through the mud. You've abandoned Republican principles that are constitutional principles. And so now we're taking back the party. So I think on the abortion issue, if the legislature does not follow suit with the conservative movement, there's going to be hell to pay for all these legislators who have campaigned for the last 50 years that they're pro-life, staunchly pro-life. If they give an inch on this, I think the conservatives are just going to be done with them. And, you know, there's a time and a place. If you go back throughout Scripture, the Lord gives his people over to the enemy and to clean out, to root out the riffraff in the nation. And if it means that we have to go with the libertarians and give the Democrats control of Indiana for a season, well, then so be it. It wasn't us who did. And I know the rhinos and the establishment are going to say, well, the conservatives are the one who made this happen. No, it's not us. You abandoned principles, and we left you because you left the party principles. And so I think that's kind of where my head's at. So this is the most important vote that these legislators will ever have in their lifetime. If they can't get this right, there will be hell to pay when it comes election time.
I can't think of a better description of the Indiana Republican Party than riffraff, and I'm going to give you full credit for that going forward.
I want royalties every time you say it. So.
Yeah, I'll let you know how much I'm making, and then you'll see what those royalties will be. It is weird, though, right? That whatever different people have different opinions, and minds and hearts can be changed during debate, whatever. But it is unusual that you're going to go into a big, super big, life-altering vote, and not only are they refusing to say what their vote is, but anytime they get asked, they blame the liberal media and say you're just going to use it against us. That's kind of weird, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. It shows that there's no courage right now. They're so afraid of being vilified by the liberal media or the teachers union. And to my point, I'm like, anytime you get vilified by the liberal media or the teachers union, you're doing a good job. Like, that means you're on the right side of history. If those people hate you, you are on the right side of history. And so I don't know what they're afraid of. Look at Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis should be the example of how to be a conservative in today's culture. He does not back down. He punches back when punched, and he does it in such a winsome and witty way. And look at the incredible success he's having in Florida right now. Why do the Indiana Republicans fear the media? I don't get it. I don't. I would be anytime they ask, I would answer the question, because if truth is on your side, what do you have to fear? And we know, conservatives know, that we're on the side of truth.
Micah Beckwith is our guest. Yes, this is what's so weird. I mean, there's multiple Republicans who, why would we tell Indy Star what our opinion is? Why would we tell THR what our opinion is? Why would we tell fill in the blank? They went to Indiana Capitol Chronicle. Like it just blows my mind, the victimhood, the whining. You have super majorities, and you act like you're being oppressed by being asked what your opinion on something is that you're going to vote on in a couple weeks.
Yeah. Well, so I think we saw what happened with the education bill. The liberal media, the teachers union, they coalesced around their arguments. They came down to the state house. They made a big stink, and they undermined everything about what the Republicans were trying to do. I think the political mind of the Republican Party right now is that if they don't have a united stance on this or united front on this, somehow the liberals are going to undercut what they're trying to do. But the Democratic Party is irrelevant in Indiana. I don't understand why they're thinking this way, because you guys have made a boogeyman, the focus, when this boogeyman really is nothing to be feared in the first place.
Okay, so you've got some sort of deal tonight where you're going to toss a bunch of softballs at Todd Rokita. What's going on with that?
Well, I think what I said was we're going to throw hardball questions. So you're spinning the way you liberal media guys always spin everything. So.
What is going on? The public's invited. Todd will tell you what a great attorney he is. I can already see how it's going to unfold, but in the interest of transparency, you'll be there. So I have some vague hope that something decent might get asked. What is going on?
So we're having a town hall with Todd Rokita at our church tonight, Life Church in Noblesville. We're just giving a platform for Todd to come out and to share with parents how they can what their rights are when it comes to this liberal indoctrination crap that's going on in schools, and just kind of give him a place to answer questions to people in the community that are concerned with liberty and upholding constitutional values for the next generation. So that's really what it's nothing crazy other than a town hall. But if you want to come on out, it's open to the public. So come out. I'm sure Todd would love to see you there, and he's going to answer questions.
So it's at Life Church in Noblesville. What time is that at?
It's going to start at 5:30.
Okay, so it amazes me that because I love that you have these events where the elected officials or politicians come out and answer the questions. I'm just amazed that you go from such a great guest like Jeff Moore one week to Todd Rokita the next. I mean, it's like a Ruoff. One weekend you've got Rod Stewart, the next week you've got the Backstreet Boys. I understand it.
Whoa, hey, listen, I like the Backstreet Boys. What's wrong with the Backstreet Boys, man? Come on.
Here's the deal with Rokita, and you can tell me because you are the voice of reason. You are my spiritual counsel. I like most of Rokita's politics. I just don't like his highly disingenuous demeanor sometimes. Does that make me a bad person? Can't I be both?
No, absolutely. You can totally be both. Honestly, I hear that a lot from conservatives. It's like, man, it seems like Rokita's been the only guy that's really been fighting for us the last 2 years, pushing back on the Holcomb nonsense. But he's kind of a, you know what I mean? Like, the same was said about Donald Trump too. I mean, and I think where I come from as a pastor, and listen, when I vote for you to hold elected office, I'm not voting for you to be my pastor. I'm voting for you to be a leader. I'm voting for you to do the tough things, to say the tough things when necessary, and to do what's right no matter the consequences. And you need the General Pattons. You know, George Patton was the same way. If you go back to World War II history, you study that. He was a bull in the china shop sometimes, but he was exactly the leader we needed for just a time as that. And so we're in a similar season. We're at war with an ideology that wants to utterly destroy America's future, and we need the bold, brash kind of Trump personalities, and maybe Todd Rokita kind of fits that a little bit. So I will say this: there's very few politicians in Indiana that I have seen have the courage to get out there and speak truth on social media or in public appearances. Todd Rokita, love him or hate him, has at least been doing that. And so I give him a lot of credit for that, and I can get behind that.
And I know because Rokita's people are always listening, I've given Micah several questions I'd like asked tonight. We'll see if any of them get read.
It's like, and just so everyone knows, it's what's your favorite color? And it was hey, listen, this is going to be equivalent to when you had Suzanne Crouch and you interviewed her, and all you asked her about was agriculture. I was like, oh my gosh, Rob, come on.
It's a shame that as a man of God, you hate farming so much.
Oh, man.
Okay, so real quick before we let you go, we are inside of 2 weeks now from when these guys at the General Assembly have got to make a decision. Are you nervous as a conservative? Do you think, oh, this is just some big head fake, they'll get it right, they'll do an abortion ban? Or are you resigning yourself to the fact that the Indiana Republican Party is going to do Indiana Republican Party things?
I think that it could go either way. I'm cautiously optimistic, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, okay, you know, Republicans, if you don't do what's right, then again, there's going to be hell to pay. So just know that. I mean, you will lose so much support if they don't get this abortion thing right and hold true to life begins at conception. If they don't get that right, then, I mean, we can literally, every single one of the Republicans in the caucus right now, we can look at them and we can say, you're a liar. You've been telling us, you've been raising money for the last 50 years on this issue. You've been telling us you're totally 100% pro-life. Life begins at conception. I'm going to be the champion of pro-life issues. And here you go. You have the opportunity to actually do what's right, and you fail to do it. We're going to primary every single one of them. The conservatives are going to, I mean, we may not win every single race, but boy, we will be a thorn in the flesh to you. So, and I told my representative, and I like him, he's a good guy, but this was back in when Holcomb was doing all the shutdown nonsense. I said, listen, dude, I don't want to have to primary you, and you don't want me to primary you, because you may win, but you're going to have to spend a lot of money to beat me in the primary, and you don't want to have to do that. You don't want to have to waste money on defending yourself from people in your own party when the Democrats are going to rally their people in the general to come after you too. So we'll just make their life a living hell in the election season if they don't do what's right. And I think that's where conservatives are today, to say, hey, listen, you better do what's right or else there's just going to be huge consequences for you to pay. So I'm cautiously optimistic. And I'm also, too, the last thing I'll say is that I think it was great that it was pushed back to the 25th of this month, because it gave the church in Indiana time to pray. And that's what we're doing at Life Church. We are committing ourselves to praying that the Lord would move on behalf of righteousness in Indiana. And I think what a lot of people saw is like, oh man, you're giving the left time to organize. I think what God was doing, he's giving the church time to pray. And so that's what Indiana needs to be focused on right now. If you're in a church, if you're a pastor, if you're in a faith community, pray that God's goodness and righteousness would win the end of the day when this session kicks off.
He's the one and only. He's the voice of the conservative movement in Indiana, Pastor Michael Beckwith. Thank you, my friend.
Hey, absolutely. Thanks, Rob.
93 WIBC. It's Kendall Casey Show.
Guys, if you've noticed a lack of energy, motivation, and drive, it could be low T. Schedule that complete health assessment at the Low T Center. They offer the convenience of monitored, self-inject, at-home testosterone treatments for $155 a month cash pay, or covered by most health insurance. If you don't live near a Low T Center or you need the convenience of at-home treatment, Low T Center makes it easy. To get started, only your first 2 visits are in person. LowTCenter.com. Book now. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Interest rate hikes are cooling housing price increases, but prices are still high. If you want to maximize your equity, now is the time to reach out to Mark Dietel. Maybe you're worried about costly repairs or upgrades needed to sell your home. With Mark Dietel, there are no required costly repairs. Pick your move date. Stay in your home after the sale, stress-free, while you close your dream home. There are no long-term contracts, and you can cancel at any time. Listen to what Eddie in Mooresville had to say about working with Mark Dietel. I wanted to sell my rental property to maximize my equity now in case prices start to cool. I heard about Mark Dietel on the radio and hired him. Everything he claims on the radio is true. Mark is smart and aggressive. He gave me multiple offers on my home in days, and we had it sold in 2 weeks for the high price I wanted. Call the agent I recommend and trust. Mark Dietel guarantees multiple offers in 3 days for full market value, or it's listed for free. Call Mark Dietel 317-755-4232. That's 317-755-4232. Or go online to markdietel.com. That's MarkDietel.com.
Summer's in Indy, and since 2001, Rhino Shield has been covering Indiana homes and businesses. Just ask Mike.
Was watching TV one night and saw the Rhino Shield ad, and I thought, well, if they can do a house, they can probably do a building.
And Rhino Shield's not paint, it's better.
So they came out and they gave me a price, showed me how the Rhino works, how it lasts, and how the guarantee works.
Business owners, you too can get the 25-year protection of Rhino Shield right now for 10% off the regular price.
They started on the building. They waited for us to leave, and they worked Saturday and Sunday so they wouldn't affect our business at all. This was the great part of it. I came back Sunday night, and you couldn't even tell they were here. There was no paint on the ground. They did a fantastic job.
Here's owner Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl. Go Rhino.
Don't vinyl. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Quick Shred now protects your identity not only by shredding, but by erasing and recycling electronics in their expanded full-service location at 62nd and Binford. 1 out of every 3 people will lose their identity this year. Protect your identity with Quick Shred. Recycle old computers, monitors, cell phones, printers, and flat-screen TVs. Quick Shred works hard to protect your identity. Visit QuickShredIndy.com. Quick Shred's open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and Saturdays 9 to 2. Quick Shred.
We wash our dishes daily, we take out the trash weekly, and we do little things routinely to keep our homes looking their best. So when was the last time you had your carpets cleaned professionally? If you're waiting for the dirt and stains to appear, you may be limiting the lifespan of your home's carpet. Getting your carpets cleaned regularly at Zero Res Carpet Cleaning can extend the life of your carpet and make your home feel new again. So give Zero Res a call today at 317-388-5141 or book online at ZeroResIndy.com to experience a smarter, lasting clean.
Hi, it's Bob from Royal Spa. Soaking in a hot tub full of Epsom salts is the absolute best way to minimize everyday aches and pains. And we know all about Epsom salts at Royal Spa. Royal Spa hot tubs are the only hot tubs on the market that can safely and effectively use Epsom salts. Made right here in Indiana, Royal Spa hot tubs are the highest quality hot tubs on the market. Visit any one of our 3 Indianapolis locations or visit royalspa.com.
Ah, Royal Spa.
Here's Terry Stacy to tell you what's going on with WIBC.
Listen to Tony Katz this week for a chance to win a #Brickyard Weekend prize pack, including 4 tickets to practice on July 29th, the Gallagher Grand Prix and Pennzoil 150 on July 30th, and the Verizon 200 at the Brickyard July 31st. Also listen in to the Hammer and Nigel show this week for a chance to win 2 tickets to see Chicago and Brian Wilson on July 20th at Ruoff Music Center.
Grab more info online at WIBC.com.
Hi, I'm Joe Clark, host of Consider This, found right here Saturday mornings at 6 a.m. Grab a cup of coffee and join me as we talk about things you should consider affecting your financial future.
He has the cleanest office out of anybody on the entire air staff here at WIBC. I'm talking about Nigel from the Hammer and Nigel Show, who's joining us right now. It's definitely cleaner than Rob's.
I don't know. There's a lot of, I guess, like liquor stains on my shelf.
I only have coffee stains on my desk. You've got liquor stains.
Yeah.
Good for you.
You go in there. Maybe I'll take a picture and post it. From over the past few months, occasionally me and Hammer and Mondo in our show will do a celebratory shot. And we get a good ratings period, and there's some spillage when I go pour those things in there. I don't just bother to watch it. You're being facetious, of course, when you say I have the cleanest office. It's quite the
not
opposite.
really compared to Rob or Abdul or even Hammer.
Rob's a pack rat.
I think it's pretty clean.
I keep all the stuff the audience sends me. The hate mail gets tacked right up on the wall, framed for everyone to see. It's really glorious. Now, you have a big show coming up this afternoon because you have a really, what I think is an important guest.
Well, I tell you, it's just a crazy story that snowballed. Megan Fox is an award-winning journalist for PJ Media, and so we know this Indy Star report that a 10-year-old in Ohio came to Indiana to terminate her pregnancy after being raped because of the laws in Ohio.
Right.
So the doctor that performed the operation was quoted in the story, but beyond that, we don't know much else, including who the rapist is or if they've been caught. Is there a paper trail of a police report? So
Biden even mentioned it.
Biden, Kamala Harris has mentioned it. It's been all over the place, and this Megan Fox has raised some incredibly relevant red flags in terms of reporting of the story and what we know about it.
From what I read, the Indy Star only cited one source.
Well, that was the doctor.
Yeah.
Right.
That was a doctor. So, I mean, that's a pretty good source to quote, but there was no corroboration. There was no second source. And this doctor is an abortion activist.
Well, and so
and she's been out, and this doctor has been out on TV and previously talking about this story, and now the wagons have kind of circled and nobody's saying anything.
Well, and you and I were talking about this before we went on air, that, look, Indy Star, regardless of what you think of their politics, and the Indy Star's politics and ours do not align, they have broke some pretty big stories over the years. The Nassar
story,
things like that.
Just to name one, it's just incredible reporting by them.
But if this somehow turns out to not be true, and look, more and more, even the Washington Post was coming out being critical of them.
The Washington Post, I've never heard the Indy Star mentioned so many times in one segment on Fox Primetime last night.
Yes.
The people there, Jesse Waters Primetime, are investigating this. Hey, look. I pray it's a hoax, because that means nobody was hurt. So whatever's going on behind the scenes there at the Indy Star, what was the comment? The facts and sourcing about people crossing state lines into Indiana, including the 10-year-old girl, for abortions are clear. We have no additional comment. So that is based. I mean, I want to know if there's a paper trail. Are the police on this? Did somebody get arrested? These are just some of the red flags that are being raised about this story.
Well, that's the question, right? Is if indeed the story is true, then someone who raped and impregnated a 10-year-old girl
still out there
is, at least we're led to believe, is just floating out in the ether somewhere, because there's no criminal complaint or arrest that match up.
I mean,
with this reporting.
The Ohio Attorney General was on last night saying, I have not heard word one about this case.
Right.
So I'd like to find a little bit more about what Megan Fox from PJ Media, she's kind of the one that broke this story in terms of the red flags, see what she has to say. And we'll talk to her at about 3:30 today.
All right, you're a golf guy, and we got about a minute and a half left here, so you'll appreciate this. So here's I'm going to bet the British Open this week. I'm going to pick one guy who I think has a legitimate shot. They might say is not a front runner, but is in the ball game. And then I'm going to pick three guys that are 100-1 or greater, because this course is so easy and the weather's supposed to be so good that I think a goober that nobody's heard of could win this tournament.
Harry Higgs.
Well, he didn't qualify, and he's about to lose his tour card, I think, if he doesn't get his act
I'm glad
together.
you said it, because I was about to ask him.
But does this make me, you guys do the am I a horrible person? Does it make me a horrible person that my person I'm betting on that has a legitimate chance and I'm going to cheer for is an LIV guy because I'm so mad about how they're screwing Greg Norman and these holy roller commentaries from Rory McIlroy and Tiger Woods. I think I'm going to put it on Dustin Johnson. And I'm going to cheer because I want to see an LIV guy stick it to the rest of these people.
Has he been winning very much?
No, nothing.
He hasn't.
No.
Which is probably what he'll do this week. Does that make me a horrible person?
And who are the rest of the no names that you're putting on?
I'm thinking
I've never heard of any of these guys.
Christian Bezuidenhout.
Nope.
Brian Harmon.
Nope.
And then I got to find one other underachiever that's 100 to 1 or greater. And then we've got our customary bet on John Daly at 1,000 to 1.
I'll put $1 on John Daly for sure. You were the one that sent us a John Daly going up and hugging Tiger Woods like they were old bros.
Let's get a Daly Woods Sunday pairing.
All right. I love it. I love it.
Right. So Megan Fox this afternoon.
Yep.
All right. It's Kendall Casey Show, 93 WIBC.
Go yard all summer long with $5 Dinger Tuesdays on FanDuel Sportsbook. This season, all customers will get $5 for every home run hit by both teams when you place a $25 to hit a home run wager on Tuesday's Major League Baseball games. And the best part about Dinger Tuesdays, even if your bet loses, FanDuel still pays you $5 for every home run. So go with Kyle Schwarber. Go with Bryce Harper. What are you waiting for? Pick your home run hitter and turn big swings into big wins. There's no better place to bet America's pastime than on America's #1 sports book. That's FanDuel. Head over to FanDuel, download the FanDuel Sportsbook app, use my promo code WIBC. Again, that's FanDuel Sportsbook app. Download it to your smartphone and use my promo code WIBC. 21 plus at present in Indiana. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Max bonus $25. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
When you call to have your home or business's heating and air serviced, what do you expect from them? A salesman in a colorful truck? Or do you expect a highly trained expert with your best intentions in mind? The answer is obvious. Call the company that treats you like family. My name's Molly and I look forward to answering your call.
Family Heating and Air Conditioning is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Hey, it's Hammer and Nigel for the coolest people I know, Window Nation. Beat the heat with Window Nation. Get $200 off any style new window and pay no interest until 2024. You can lower your energy bills and raise the value of your home with beautiful new Window Nation windows at amazing savings. Call 866-90-NATION or go online at windownation.com. Set up a free in-home consultation and you can lock in this amazing offer for 6 months.
We'll show you how over 1 million of the expertly installed money-saving double pane Energy Star efficient windows are already rewarding and cooling families in over 150,000 homes. Take advantage of this very cool offer while it lasts. For a limited time, you'll save $200 on every window. Do your entire house, and you'll save more with no interest until 2024. But you have to call right now. 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com. Window Nation, the perfect fit.
You might be working with someone to manage your wealth, but is the relationship working for you? Join Edelman Financial Engines on Tuesday, July 19th at 3 p.m. or 8 p.m. Eastern for our brand new virtual event, Why Choosing the Right Wealth Planner Matters, presented by best-selling author Gene Chatsky. You can register now at planefe.com. You'll see why all financial planners are not created equal. Gene will show you why having the right partner can have a big impact on your financial future and how to know if your advisor is looking out for your best interests. Don't miss this important virtual event. Join us for Why Choosing the Right Wealth Planner Matters with Gene Chatsky on Tuesday, July 19th at 3 p.m. or 8 p.m. Eastern. There's no cost to attend and no obligation. Register now at planefe.com. That's planefe.com. Edelman Financial Engines. From here forward.
Now is the perfect time to get into the home of your dreams. Learn more and get pre-approved today at thehomeloanexpert.com. NMLS number 1326241.
Coming up in 2 minutes, 2 more people shot overnight, one of them fatally. John Herrick has the details. That and more coming up from the Shepherd Community Center studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 11 o'clock.
COVID's putting more Americans in hospitals again. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
A doubling of hospital admissions since early May.
CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky says 2 new Omicron subvariants make up about 80% of cases.
We do not know yet about the clinical severity of BA4 and BA5 in comparison to our other Omicron subvariants, but we do know it to be more transmissible and more immune evading.
In 2 hours, the Democrat-led House committee investigating the Capitol riot will hold a hearing focused on extremist groups that stormed the Capitol, and if there are any Trump links, the former president calls the investigation a hoax. There's a hearing at the Senate into what Democrat Dick Durbin calls post-Roe America after the Supreme Court undid the federal legal right to abortions, letting states ban or strictly regulate them.
A woman's choice to get an abortion is her choice alone. Politicians have no business sitting in the waiting room with the doctor.
Republican Senator Chuck Grassley supports the ruling, saying it
through their accounted elected representatives to make common sense policy decisions. It takes policy out of the hands of unelected judges.
Now, the Biden administration says a federal law supersedes state laws requiring doctors to provide emergency abortions in cases where the mother's life is in danger. Mexico's president had breakfast with Vice President Harris. Now he's about to meet with President Biden, who's been criticized by Republicans for a surge of migrants crossing the border illegally.
On Monday, our cameras captured images showing Texas National Guard members and public safety officials busing illegal immigrants back to the border. Texas's governor says he had no choice but to use state resources here to do this because he blames the Biden administration for not acting faster. The vice president, though, recently told CBS that she feels that the governor is more interested in flamethrowing than solutions.
Fox's Mark Meredith. The U.S. military took out a top ISIS terrorist in a drone strike today in Syria. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The plea from police. It's sunny and 81 downtown. I'm Kurt Darling for Moss Roofing. Here's what's trending at 11:02. There were 2 shootings on the northeast side overnight. John Herrick reports.
The latest one happened just after 1 this morning, where a teenage boy was found shot in a street near 42nd Street and Arlington Avenue. He was rushed to a hospital and later died.
We need to have people quit shooting each other. This is getting really ridiculous in our city, and it's all because people don't want to talk things out.
IMPD Captain Don Weilhammer says someone else was shot and killed at an apartment complex late Monday night. Neighbors said they heard people screaming and arguing before the shooting. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Federal prosecutors will not seek the death penalty against a man accused of killing a Terre Haute police detective. Shane Meehan is accused of throwing a Molotov cocktail at an FBI office there before shooting Officer Greg Ferenczi, who was an FBI task force officer. Life in prison for Meehan, likely if he's convicted. President Biden continues to blame oil companies and the war in Ukraine for high gas prices. Well, not so, says Josh Webb, the state director for Americans for Prosperity.
Those sanctions don't explain the inflation that we've seen across the economy.
His organization held an event at a Mishawaka gas station Monday, allowing the station to lower the price of gas to $2.38 a gallon, which Webb says reflects the gas price that it was back when Biden first took office. Greenfield police are training for active shooters this week. Harrison Silcox.
They're training at Greenfield Central Community High School to make sure they're prepared for any situation.
Every year, unfortunately, the more that there's incidents, the more that we're learning about different things. So we're constantly evolving.
Lieutenant Corey Decker with Greenfield Police on Wish TV. He says they're focusing on how to stop active shooters as fast and effectively as possible. Harrison Silcox, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Indiana is about 2,300 teachers short to start the school year. School districts say it's not just teachers they need to hire, though. They also need bus drivers. I'm Kurt Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Tony Katz for Moss Roofing, MOSS, mossroofing.com, the family-owned business in its second generation of taking care of the roofs of Indianapolis and all over central Indiana. They do full roof replacements, residential or commercial. You've got storm damage, you talk to Moss Roofing. And their financing, they've got a plan that works for everybody's budget. So yes, now is the time to get that roof taken care of. And if you need siding, they work with James Hardy Siding. We're talking about the low maintenance, fully painted, 15-year warranty on the finish, James Hardy Siding. When you go to sell your home, your house is going to be worth more money because you will have increased the value with James Hardy Siding, and it holds up better in the Indianapolis weather. Talk to the family at Moss Roofing today. 317-784-3227. Tell them Tony Cat sent you. 784-3227. 784-3227 or online at mossroofing.com.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by thehomeloanexpert.com.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
The Republican Party in Indiana sees zero problem in record spending, in record taxation.
And Casey Daniels.
You went out there and said, please vote for me. You debated other people on why you're the better person for the position. Suck it up.
This is the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
Good morning. It is Tuesday, July 12th, and things that are trending this hour. The Verge. Spotify has acquired the music trivia game Hurdle. Not Wordle, Hurdle. Also trending is the James Webb Space Telescope. NASA releasing the first images, deepest in the universe yet. And lastly, trending, Shark Week from the Discovery Channel.
Here we go.
It's not, I don't know why Shark Week is trending today, because Shark Week actually doesn't start until July 24th.
Oh, thank goodness. So I have another week, 2 weeks.
To prepare.
Reprieve.
Do you sit in front of the TV and watch the Great Whites?
No, I don't sit around and watch anything because any week could be Shark Week. I mean, why does everything need a day or a week
or a month?
You know, it's just like everyone needs a participation trophy now, including the Sharks.
We're gonna have to come up with a Rob Kendall Day.
Nothing.
Would that make you happy?
You go. That would be the one person deserving of a day.
You'd find acceptable.
But Shark Week. What does that even mean? What do we have? Do the Sharks do something different during Shark Week?
They swim in a different direction.
Do they put on a better display for the people in the boats? Oh, it's Shark Week. You guys better step up your game. Better get your act together.
It's just a branding for programming on the Discovery Channel. It is Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC, and we have to talk about Elon Musk. We haven't done that yet today.
I know it. I put it off for as long as possible.
So we better get to it.
Okay, so here, just high level, here is how I understand what is taking place, because there's a million different moving parts right now. Before we play this just very bizarre clip from CNBC that I thought was super interesting. Okay, so he entered into an agreement to buy Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
There was a part of that agreement that if he did not follow through,
mm-hmm.
he could pull out, funny for Elon Musk, and be charged $1 billion.
Right, that's the breakup fee.
However, there is also now, as I understand, part of this agreement, which is very weird, and I'm sure some attorney who makes more in an hour than I make in a year drew this up, in which Twitter can fight that and essentially say, no, we're not taking the breakup fee. We're suing for you to buy the company. So it isn't like just some automatic thing as people had interpreted it earlier, which is why we were operating from the standpoint, okay, it's $1 billion. It's nothing to him. Think of all the free publicity he got.
Right.
There is, in this lawsuit, Twitter is trying to force him to buy the company, not just, well, he doesn't want to pay us $1 billion. So as weird as that sounds, they are now in Delaware court, Twitter is attempting to actually force him. That is what they're trying to acquire.
Into buying their company.
Into buying the company, period, not this $1 billion breakup fee, whatever you want to call it.
They did hire the law firm over the weekend. And then...
Very expensive sounding law firm.
Yeah.
It's never like Fred Jones, attorney at law.
Smith Lawyers. It's Watchtel, Lipton, Rosen, and Katz.
If there's more than 3 names on the thing,
the price goes
really
up.
Expensive, right?
And so now one of the guys, David Faber on CNBC, has suggested that Elon Musk could go to jail over the lawsuit.
Yeah, so he was on with Kramer and I think somebody else.
And we're going to play just a little bit of this and then get into it because I say there is absolutely no way this happens, but yet it's super interesting just to hear the audio of. Take a listen.
Boy, the board is in trouble if they just get that walkaway fee.
Yeah. Well, no, there's no way. Sorry,
No,
Carl.
it won't
There's
happen.
no way they're going to take the walkaway fee.
No, no way.
They have specific performance in the contract. They are going to have a Delaware judge enforce that contract and say these are the reasons why.
Right.
Most of the people that you speak with, or at least certainly that I have, believe that in fact will be the case.
So do I.
Then the question is, well, okay, you're forcing Mr. Musk to buy the company. Does he actually agree to do it? There's this argument that being said lately that, well, maybe he won't comply with that.
Right.
Well, then we'd have a situation where they can put him in jail.
Right, but people don't think they can
I know
put him
you
in jail.
laugh, but
Because it's funny, the idea of him going to jail.
But that's where we could end up. I mean, this is a man who doesn't play by the rules.
Well, that's the only enforcement that they have.
And if he conceivably does that. The other out, of course,
David, the takeaway is going to be Faber says must go into jail. You got about 10 seconds to repeal that.
No. The other big out is the financing. If the banks were to pull the financing, that would then allow him to pay the $1 billion and he'd be done.
Yeah, so this comes back to what we've talked about from the beginning on this. There are no stupid billionaires that aren't dictators. You do not acquire $1 billion, let alone over $100 billion like Elon Musk, without being a shrewd marketer and pretty brilliant person. So I'm guessing this is how he looks at it. And I could be totally wrong. We keep talking about earned media, right? Mm-hmm. If this thing goes to court, what actually plays out in court? Because money is of no object to the guy, right? If you live your life, if money were no object, every day he will be the lead story. If this thing, because it will take forever for this thing to play out in court. It's not like they're going to go, to some town court and it's going to be decided.
This is how many bots we actually have, and then we're all done here.
And everything, this will play out. It will probably take years for this to play out for something of this magnitude. And every time, Elon Musk, mm-hmm. The story is Elon Musk. Mm-hmm. And so,
exactly what he wants.
Exactly. Earned media. He's going to continue to get earned media. So either that will happen, which he's okay, and maybe he wins, maybe he loses, whatever. Or he ultimately could settle this thing out of court where he pays, I don't know, whatever he decides his earned media value is. We talked about it being hundreds of billions of dollars. Let's say it's $5 billion. Mm-hmm. He pays that and goes away. Or they could negotiate a new price in which he says maybe it's not $44 a share, maybe it's $42. I'm just making things up here. $42 a share.
Yeah.
So he's not sweating this, which is why he's still screwing around on Twitter and laughing about it and joking about it because it's not going to hurt him.
Posting memes. The Twitter shares right now are trading at $36.81. But Elon is also in the news this morning for attacking Donald Trump. He has said that it's time for Trump to sail into the sunset.
Because Trump said he was like a schmuck, and said
and now they're fighting.
He was saying he got a bad deal, and he called him a BS artist during that thing in Alaska. Look, here's the thing about Trump that's different from a guy like Musk, and they're both marketers. Is marketeur, is that a word, or did I just make a word up there?
Marketer.
I may have just made a word up there. But they're both marketing geniuses. And one of the reasons, and again, just speculation, Trump didn't want to release his tax returns is not because he was doing something illegal that was going to put him in jail, but he wasn't as rich as he actually said he was. And on the financial disclosures you're required to fill out to run for office, he put immense value on his name. Like he put whatever there was, a certain value, ridiculous amount of money that he put on the name Trump. It was worth whatever. So since the name Trump is worth that, I'm worth that. Trump made a majority of his money in the common era on his name. You put the Trump name, the hotel, the steaks, the casino, whatever. It wasn't that Donald Trump. Now, Trump in the 80s did make huge amounts of money on real estate deals. He wasn't doing that anymore. He was a TV personality. He was, he was running for public office, and he was licensing his name to stuff. Elon Musk, and this pains me to say because, I love the Trumpster, is probably about 1 million times smarter than Donald Trump. The dude builds rockets. The dude builds electric cars that go, go, go. Donald Trump at his best, tore down or rebuilt buildings that other people did.
He hires other people.
Right. Donald Trump was not in there with a ruler and
a T-square figuring it out.
So in terms of who's the smarter, more brilliant person, I'm team Elon Musk in terms of who's a schmuck and who's not.
Yeah. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. And let's talk about Jake Sullivan. He is the Biden National Security Advisor. And, Biden's getting on a plane and he's going to go meet with the Saudis.
Yes, being beholden to the Saudis for oil is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Golfers playing for the Saudi tour, vanquished.
We've got some audio of what he had to say. Let's listen to that.
There are risks for the president politically to go to Saudi Arabia with an expectation among the public that maybe there will be a specific deliverable when it comes to gas prices and so forth and supply. What is the burden on the president to come home with something in that category?
Well, it's up to you to characterize things like burdens on the president. What I can say is what the president intends to do. He intends to use every tool in his toolbox to try to create adequate global energy supplies and to bring the price of gas down for American working families at the pump. And that will be measured over time. Can we get that price down and can we keep it down? And I don't think it's going to be measured on Friday or Saturday of this week. I think it will be measured over the weeks and months to come. And there we will sustain intensive engagement in our effort to ensure that at the end of the day, we're having a positive impact on the price of oil and thereby a positive impact on the price of gas.
So it's being said that Biden is going to go beg the Saudis for oil.
Yeah.
And I've heard people saying over the past couple of days, well, prices are coming down. This is great. Okay, the average here in Indiana is still $4.67.
Yeah, well, that's unacceptable. And the reason I think prices are starting to come down is people have changed travel patterns. They've changed travel behavior. It reaches a point where they're doing things like carpooling. Mm-hmm. They're doing things like, I don't know about you, Casey. Once we're home, we're home.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Unless there's something you need from the store or something like that. No more joy rides.
Yeah.
Hey, it might be fun to go do. Nope. Done. We're in. Boom. It's here. And so naturally the price of gas will come down as supply. It's a supply and demand issue. Mm-hmm. But it's ridiculous to say that in a country that has the wealth and resources and access to resources that we do, that we're not doing those to the best of our ability, yet we're going and begging Saudi Arabia and other OPEC countries to help us. We don't need help.
Yeah, we've got it right here if we would just use it.
Yes.
And gas coming down to $4.67. While, yes, it's nice that it is going down, it's like when you've been abused and for so long and lied to and manipulated, you'll take the breadcrumbs and you'll gobble it up with a smile. It's still $4.67.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I saw some people in the, I don't know where I was looking at this at, but they were some social media forum and they were saying, well, the Republicans are really going to have to eat their words now. Gas is coming down. When did it become okay for gas to be more than $4.50?
It's still $4.67.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, and I know we got to get to a break. By the way, before we do, I want to say hello to everybody watching us in the YouTube chat. You just put Kendall and Casey in your browser there on YouTube, and you can watch and you can play along. And yes, we do read the comments, and we're still deciding how we're going to interact with people via the YouTube. We haven't totally decided that yet, but yes, we're reading, and we appreciate whether you're listening because you love us, as many of you do, or those of you under anonymous names who listen because you hate us. We appreciate that as well.
They just want to watch you and see what you look like when the vein pops out of your forehead. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Good morning.
Today I'm calling for a federal gas tax holiday.
Not going to provide significant savings at the pump.
Republicans. Another gimmick, another Band-Aid.
So-called gas tax holiday.
Even Barack Obama called it a gimmick.
That is such an obvious gimmick. This is a plan that would save you pennies a day for the summer months.
Check in often.
All of us, Democrats, Republicans, Independents.
And hear the stories that affect all of us.
The American people.
This is 93 WIBC.
Guys, if you need an annual health exam, check out the Low T Center to get your complete health assessment. They'll check all of your levels, not just your T level. In most cases, it's completely covered by your health insurance. And if you don't have insurance, it's less than $100 for a full lab panel and office visit with the medical provider. And they give you a complete health assessment. Low T Center, specializing in men's health. Go to lowtcenter.com right now. Book online. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Are you sick of financial advisory firms that simply capture your assets and charge you a fee just to invest your money in the same things they put everyone else in? These brokers ride the market with your money for a fee, whether you win or whether you lose. Crown Haven is different. This is Dan Dockets telling you that Crown Haven has invested thousands of hours perfecting their Retire Shield strategies to create secure income from safe sources. They will create a well-protected and income-generating portfolio based on your situation. Crown Haven is a fiduciary firm, meaning they're required by law to act in their client's best interest. Everyone deserves great advice, and you'll get it from this team of expert professionals that truly care about your outcome. To qualify for a free planning session, visit crownhaven.com. Don't let 2022 pass without the protection of Retire Shield. Crown Haven is working for me, and they can work for you. Call them at 765-324-7233. Tell them Dan sent you to Crown Haven Wealth Advisors.
Dell's Black Friday and July sale is here. Power productivity with a tech refresh. Now with up to 45% off top-rated laptops like the XPS, along with our special deals on business desktops with Intel Core processors. Get big savings on the latest servers, storage, monitors, and more with free shipping and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Upgrade today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Every search you make, every click you take, they'll be watching you.
Are you tired of being tracked online? There's a simple solution. DuckDuckGo. It's an all-in-one privacy app with a built-in private search engine, web browser, one-click data clearing, email protection, and more, all for free. Download the app today and get the most comprehensive privacy protection with the push of a button. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
Don't let summer pass you by. There's still time to add the patio of your dreams. Backyard living starts at indiedecorativeconcrete.com.
It's the Kendall and Casey Show with Rob Kendall and Casey Daniels.
I don't you two see that you're in love with each other?
On 93 WIBC.
Oh, I give you a new reason to hate the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. It's 11:21. So one of the jurors in the defamation trial served improperly. This was juror number 15. They have discovered new facts about this, Rob. An attorney for Amber Heard has alleged in a recent filing that asked the court to declare a mistrial, order a new trial because juror number 15 wasn't supposed to be there at all.
So this is wild and wacky, and newsflash, Casey, I'm not a man of the law, so I don't know how to weigh in on this, but it's totally predictable, and it's the most Amber Heard, Johnny Depp thing ever. They claim the jury summons was sent to a person who was supposed to be 77 years old, yet this appeared to be a thing where maybe a elderly parent and a son or daughter lived at the house together and had the same name. So, it'd be like Kevin McNamara, Sr., Kevin McNamara, Jr. I don't think that's a thing, but whatever. And Kevin gets the mail that's intended for his dad and isn't paying close attention or whatever, reports to jury duty when it's supposed to be the dad is picked for jury duty. And now they're trying to say, hey, wait a second. This was supposed to be Kevin McNamara, Sr., who was the juror, and it turns out it was Kevin McNamara Jr. So, okay, I guess my first question is, you have infinite money in this legal team, and you weren't smart enough to realize that this is the wrong person, right? I mean, isn't that a whole thing? Isn't there people who make money selecting juries in high-profile trials?
Right.
Isn't that literally what they do?
There's a whole thing for that. It's like a career.
Yeah, wasn't there a movie made about that? Wasn't Gene Hackman one of these people? And so what? We didn't catch that? I mean, we're paying, and now we're supposed to believe, the whole thing overturned on whatever. Well, if you're selected for the jury and approved, does it matter whether you were actually summoned? I don't. This whole thing is way above my pay grade, but I just find it laughable that this multi-million-dollar legal team couldn't even catch that it's the wrong person until after the fact.
So the wrong juror number 15, sat on the jury for 6 weeks.
Yes.
and was never supposed to be there.
Because in the movie, don't they like sit in the courtroom and read the people's faces the whole time and then tell them? I'm trying to remember. I can't remember the name of the movie. I'm sure people are frantically tweeting
Probably called
at
The
me.
Juror.
Yeah, probably is. I know there was a movie called that. I don't know if it's this one, but they're reading the faces, saying this is the person you got to talk to. Whatever. I'm sure there's some level of proof in that, or true in that's how this works, and we're led to believe that this huge legal team with this huge budget couldn't figure out for 6 weeks, even after a questionnaire period, we've got the wrong person.
That's the wrong person.
So if I'm the judge, I don't know what the law says, but I'm the judge, I'm inclined to say, yeah, you had enough time. Sorry about you.
Well, that's what Johnny Depp's lawyers are saying, that they waited too long to make this claim, and so too late.
Yeah.
But Amber Heard's lawyers are saying no, mistrial, because that wasn't the correct jury.
I bet if it had been found the other way, that Mr. Depp was the one paying all the money, they would have been just fine with a little mix-up.
Probably. It's the trial that never ends. But wouldn't that be something? They could have like the sequel.
No, because we're not doing this again. You and I are not doing this again. No.
Just when you think all of that free entertainment for nothing. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. And quickly, let's get to this story. Gas prices, of course, have been on everybody's mind for a while. And there is this restaurant, Big Lug Canteen.
Sounds like a place to be, doesn't it?
Which is off of 86th Street. They have created a gas price menu.
I love this.
Yeah.
I love this. So this is a local company off 86th Street here in Indianapolis. And each day there is a nearby Kroger gas station. They go see what the price of gas is. I'm guessing it's unleaded would be my guess. I don't know if it's specified in the article.
We don't know if it's diesel or
but,
not.
By the way, WRTV had the story on this. And they go take a picture of the price of gas, and that's what they set the lunch menu special price at. Like there's an item or items, and that is the price. So if the price is $4.69 one day, that's what you pay. If it goes up to $4.86, that's what you pay. I love this.
They said the deals are good, and most people know we like to have a good time at Big Lug.
I love it. How could you not have a good time at the Big Lug Canteen off 86th Street?
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Guy Relford for Independent Safe Company located in Noblesville. You know, the worst time to buy insurance for your car is after you've had a wreck. Well, the worst time to buy a safe is after you've had a break-in or a fire that damages those things most important to you. And that's exactly why I made the decision to buy a quality American-made safe from my friends at Independent Safe Company. Whether it's to protect my firearms, my wife's jewelry, our important legal documents, our family heirlooms, whatever it might be, the best way to do that is with a quality American-made safe from Independent Safe Company. Another reason I went with Independent Safe Company is because I was a little worried about how I was going to get a large, heavy safe delivered and installed in my home. Well, the professionals at Independent Safe Company took all those potential headaches completely away, and I was thrilled with the process. So if you've made the decision to buy a quality American-made safe, check out my friends at Independence Liberty Safe, located in Noblesville, at independencelibertysafe.com, or give them a call at 317-214-1437. That's my friends at Independence Liberty Safe, located in Noblesville.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
The reality of owning property is that it can sometimes become a burden. Maybe you own a vacant, condemned, or foreclosed property. Maybe you need to move fast for work or a family emergency. Perhaps you inherited a home, got a divorce, or just can't maintain the home you currently have. Getting free of that burden with cash in hand is easier than you think. Enhanced Property Solutions makes it simple for you to sell your property fast for cash on the date you pick. Any condition. No realtors, no fees, no hassles. EnhancedPropertySolutions.com or call 317-676-2050.
When your celebration of life is prepaid in advance, it becomes a gift from you to your family later, because no one should have to plan for a loss while they're experiencing one. Paying in advance protects your loved ones and gives you the peace of mind you deserve. Let us help you plan every detail with professionalism and compassion. We're Crown Hill Funeral and Crown Hill Cemetery. Find us at dignitymemorial.com.
Remember that sweet sound of the ice cream truck pulling into your neighborhood? Well, life isn't as carefree as it once was, but I still get that same feeling when I see the Zero Res van pulling into my neighborhood. This is Denny Smith, and I only trust Zero Res and their technicians to clean my carpets with their patented cleaning process that leaves my home looking its best. Right now, call 317-388-5141 and mention Denny Smith, and you'll get 4 rooms of carpet clean for only $169. Or use promo code ZeroRes7 when you schedule at ZeroResIndy.com.
911, what's your emergency?
Por favor, necesito ayuda. Está borracho y creo que me va a pegar otra vez.
I will get someone to speak with you. Please stay on the line.
Hola, tengo su ubicación. Ayuda está en camino.
Getting past a language barrier is critical when first responders help Hoosiers. That's why the State 911 Board provides special tools for non-English speaking citizens to communicate with emergency services.
Si estás en peligro, aunque no hables inglés, podrás recibir ayuda en una emergencia rápidamente.
All Indiana 911 centers began offering translation services in over 240 languages in 2019. Now people can send text messages for help in their native language to 911 and receive a translated text back from the dispatcher. It's of great help to the deaf and speech impaired and to those in select dangerous situations.
Cuando llame o envíe un texto al 911, un servicio de traducción se asegurará que entiendan lo que está diciendo.
For more information, visit in911.net.
Gracias.
911. Before you text, voice is best.
The amount of money our clients receive with a simple cash-out refinance is life-changing. Learn more and get pre-approved at thehomeloanexpert.com.
NMLS number 1326241.
Quick Shred protects you and your company's identity by erasing and recycling electronics. Recycle old computers, monitors, cell phones, printers, plus document shredding. QuickShredIndy.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A top leader taken down. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 11:30. The leader of ISIS in Syria is dead. U.S. Central Command forces conducted an airstrike in the northwestern part of the country this morning. It led to the death of Maher al-Agal. In addition to being the group's leader in Syria, CENTCOM describes him as one of the top 5 ISIS leaders. No civilians hurt. Your life has likely been touched in some way by the opioid addiction crisis. Now, Indiana is getting $507 million from the opioid settlement. Indianapolis counselors know how much they'll get.
Additional appropriations totaling $3,762,263.
That'll go towards hiring deputy coroners, help provide treatment, and buy Narcan for cops and medics who need to stop overdoses. I'm Kurt Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
I read the news. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC, 1132. Good morning.
Question.
Yes.
By the way, thank you to everybody who's watching us in the YouTube chat. Kendall and Casey, WIBC. If you put that in your YouTube browser, you'll be able to see us. Hello. You can also watch us on the Facebook, WIBC Facebook stream, or the WIBC Twitter feed. And, okay, so question to you, Casey.
Yeah.
In a relationship, would you rather be with someone who you disagreed with on a whole bunch of stuff, most stuff, but was always honest and direct with you, and you always knew where they stood?
Yeah.
Or would you rather be in a relationship with someone who you agreed with more often, but yet was totally unreliable and you could never get a clear answer from?
The first one.
Thank you. This is what is happening in our state right now in terms of how the Democrats and the Republicans are handling this abortion discussion. Now, the Democrats are insane, and they're snatching defeat from the jaws of victory by being honest about how they feel about abortion. But multiple times a day on the Indiana Democrat Twitter feed, I am seeing them being critical of the Republicans on abortion, and most importantly, not giving a position on abortion. Then they proceed to give their opinion on abortion, which is basically, without saying it, on demand from conception to live birth, which is totally alienating a whole bunch of people who otherwise might vote for them. But the point is, in terms of what we should expect from our elected officials, the Democrats are actually doing it the right way. Now, they're wrong and they're crazy.
But at least they're being upfront about it.
But in terms of who do I respect, the Democrats way more than the Republicans, because the Democrats are walking into a special session saying, here's where we are. If you like it, great. If you don't, fine. Sorry about you. But here's where we are. The Republicans, you still can't get an answer from them anywhere. You can get some individuals who, when pressed, finally might kind of say what they think, but you're not getting any across the board. Here's what the party thinks. Here's what the party's coming in. Here's what the party's doing. Folks, we're inside of 2 weeks before this thing is supposed to begin. And they've only got 3 weeks once it starts because they screwed around and canceled 19 days of the session. We're supposed to, get dialogue and testimony and meaningful back and forth in 21 days on abortion when we still don't know 2 weeks out where they're walking in at?
And that's why they went to an off-site hotel to open up the mini bar, get the juices flowing, and see if they could come up with an idea. Were they brainstorming there?
I just think it comes back to, again, this unwillingness of the Republican Party, and I think this is what is so frustrating, which is there's no way to manipulate what's happening here. Well, the media might run it. Who cares? You have supermajorities. There's nothing the media can do to you. If you guys stay together on whatever it is that you promised to do for 30 years, which is protect life in this state. And look, I'm going to say something nice about Jim Lucas here, and it's going to pain me because I'd sooner stab myself in the eye because the guy screws around on Facebook way too much instead of doing his actual job. But Nikki Kelly told us earlier today that Jim Lucas responded to their request, and he said, I believe, that he's against abortion with the exceptions being rape and incest. I don't know if health of the mother's included. Okay, great. Perfect. Boom. That's a reasonable position.
Right. Somebody's on record at least.
That is in line with what the Republican Party has promised to do. Okay, next person. Why is it so hard? John Jacob has done the same thing. I think John Jacob has a more extreme position than Jim Lucas does. But okay, reasonable people can disagree, and that's where the conversation comes from. Why is it so hard for all 110 members of the Indiana General Assembly to do what John Jacob and at least it appears maybe Jim Lucas have also done? What are you hiding from? You have they can't break you. You were elected to public office. You were elected promising to do this. Why are you so worried about what Indy Star or THR or Indiana Capital Chronicle or whoever it is thinks about you? What does it matter?
Do you think that they're trying to come up with a consensus so that they can have one message going into the meeting? This is what we stand for. This is what we're doing. Here it is.
So this is what I'm torn on, and this is what I don't know, and this is what's so damn frustrating about it. Which is one of two things is happening here. Either they're saying we don't have a consensus on this, which I think is the most likely, given the fact that Lockdown McGee came out and said, I have no red lines. Everybody knows Eric Holcomb is not signing an abortion ban. Okay, so as we talked about Nikki Kelly earlier, he clearly has a red line. Eric Holcomb is not signing an all-out ban on abortion that doesn't include rape, incest, health of the mother. Okay? So he's lying. He does have a red line. He knows he's not getting to the red line. So this is what I'm totally confused and worried about. And I don't think Eric Holcomb is going to sign an abortion ban, even that includes rape, incest, health of the mother, because the Indy Chamber and Indiana Chamber of Commerce and these large businesses of which he gets down on bended knee to make happy are not going to tolerate that. So this is the point. Is it that we don't have a consensus, in which case that is not going to end well? They're not going to go further pro-life. It's going to be less pro-life because then Holcomb's going to get his tentacles and the donor lobbyist crowd is going to get their tentacles into it. So is it that or is it we're trying to figure out how to message that we're pro-life? I don't think it's the second one. I don't think it's that we're trying to figure out how to message, hey, we are against abortion with the exception of being rape, incest, health of the mother. If they came out tomorrow and said, we are going to put forward a bill that bans all abortions except for rape, incest, health of the mother, Rob Kendall would be your biggest cheerleader. Think about how many people over there at 200 West Washington would love to see Rob Kendall have to defend the Republican Party. There's nothing that I would like more. But you can't do it because they won't tell you what they believe. I don't know whether to be critical of you or love your position. And so it's this worst case scenario in the middle in which you're just cowards to tell me what your position is.
And in the meantime, you have to speculate.
Right. Which is pathetic because you've had all this time, raised all this money, and done all this stuff on it. So it comes back to this question I asked you, and I think most people would be where you are, which is they'd rather be around someone that they disagree with, who is honest with them, who knows where they stand on something, which is the Democrats here, versus somebody who won't be honest with you, who won't tell you what they think, even though the end result, 25, 30% of the time, you may agree with them more than the other person. It's just pathetic.
It doesn't matter if I agree with you all day long, 365 days a year. If I can't trust you, I don't want to hear a word you say.
And I think this idea that they will not come out with a definitive position. Look, at this point, we are inside of 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. If 2 weeks makes that big a difference, you're that worried about the heat being turned up. There's no way. If you are that concerned about the heat being turned up on you for 2 weeks, there's no way you're going to survive 3 weeks when the session actually starts.
Right.
So it tells me you do not have a bunch of people in these House and Senate rooms with intestinal fortitude when the heat turns up and the lunatics start showing up every single day with their goofy signs and wearing who knows what, that they're going to stand firm. It's going to be critical race theory all over again, where the Republicans crawl under a table, apologize for having ideas, and do whatever the maniacs want. If you can't stand firm for 2 weeks, if indeed we know what we're doing and it's just a messaging issue, there's no way they're standing firm for 3 weeks once they get in that session.
If they can't stand the preheat, there's no way they're going to be able to stand the actual heat when they need to make a decision.
And so for the Teslas and the whatever his name is, or the Lucases, or the John Jacobs, you guys need to be out front and center. This is where I get critical of Jim Lucas. So get off Facebook, have a rally, have an event for people who believe in you, which is probably the majority of the Republican Party is where you're at. Get off social media and start doing stuff like the left is doing to show these losers that are your coworkers who are weak and scared the people are behind you. You can't show support for someone if you don't know what the position is. You can't support it if it isn't clearly defined.
But quit fundraising on it.
Exactly.
As well, because you've had years and years and years.
I didn't mean to go
that.
off on that, but I just saw that again from the Democrats, and I thought at least they've got the courage.
Yeah.
Even though it is not where the majority of people in the state are, they'll tell you what they think. And wow, wouldn't that be nice if we had that on what is supposed to be our side?
Like you said, it's wrong and it's crazy, but at least it's honest.
Exactly.
It's what they really think.
Sure.
Yeah. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Where do you want to go from here? Do you want to take a break or do you want to get into a couple more stories?
It's half your show. You know me. I'm a big proponent of women's rights.
All right. Well, let's get into the dueling Biden public speeches.
Okay.
Okay. So you asked the question, which one of these is worse? We've got two clips, one from Joe Biden, one from Jill Biden.
Oh.
Okay. The first one is from the president who is misspeaking and gets interrupted by a parent of a Stoneman Douglas High School shooting victim.
Yes. So he was given the speech. It's about gun control. He gets, they're giving him the business because they don't think it's far enough. Now, again, inappropriate to start yelling. Yes. Should you do it? No. If your child dies in a horrific event, who knows how people respond. What they want is not going to solve the problem, but that's beside the point. So Biden essentially is in the middle of this speech and basically tells this parent, sit down and shut up. Take a listen.
Today's many things is proof that despite the naysayers, we can make meaningful progress on dealing with gun violence. Because make no mistake, sit down, you'll hear what I have to say. If you think you...
I've been trying to tell you this for years.
Let me finish my comment.
So sit down, shut up, let me finish my comment. Nothing says endearing and understanding and empathetic like sit down, shut up.
Right. I understand what you're going through. You're emotional. Sit down and shut up. Okay, so the second clip, this is from Jill Biden. She was at an inclusion conference talking about the Hispanic community, and she compares them to tacos. It's Taco Tuesday. Let's listen.
This organization with the understanding that the diversity of this community, as distinct as the bodegas of the Bronx, as beautiful as the blossoms of Miami, and as unique as the breakfast tacos here in San Antonio.
Do you hear the boos?
Is your strength.
Bodegas, it's bodega.
Casey, you're very special to me. You're very...
Thank you.
There's not very unique. There's only unique. You are unique. I value you and what you bring to the table. You are as special as a breakfast taco. Who writes the speeches for these people?
I don't know. But I have an answer for you. You posed the question, which one of these is worse?
Yes.
I'm going to say Joe. Joe Biden.
I would
Definitely
agree with you.
worse. That's a parent who's upset who has lost a child, and he says, sit down and shut up. Jill, at least, is weaving a tapestry of words. She's trying to paint a picture.
Here is my question, and I don't know how this works. I guess it is just they'll read whatever's on the paper. But you would think if you're giving a speech in front of a large audience, hey, I'm gonna really read and think through what I'm about to say here. Like when I did the speech to the Boone County Republican Women's Club a month ago, there wasn't a lot of prep that went into because I knew what I wanted to say and where I wanted to go. And there's 100 people in the room and they were awesome. And I knew, we want Rob Kendall to come speak at our event. It's freewheeling Rob Kendall, right? Let him go. But if I'm giving a speech in front of, 1,000 people as the spouse of the president of the United States, I'm damn well going to read through the speech. And if someone writes a line in there where I compare Hispanic people to a taco, I'm going to pause and go, you know what? That might not be best for everyone.
That may
I'm going to
not
scratch
be
that one.
considered a compliment. Sure. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Rob Kendall, you're as unique as a cheeseburger.
That's one of the nicest things I've ever been told.
It's WIBC.
I don't always black out when I'm drunk.
My kids can't tell that I'm high, so it's okay.
I'm not an alcoholic. I don't drink in the morning.
I still have a job, so my drug use isn't a problem.
I can stop using whenever I want.
Don't ignore the signs of addiction. You don't have to wait until it's too late to get help. At Landmark Recovery, we're here to provide affordable and effective addiction treatment. Call 866-LANDMARK or visit landmarkrecovery.com to get help today.
Feeling the pinch of higher prices?
Golden Oak Lending can save you money with their low fixed rates.
James Hawkins here, president of Golden Oak. You can offset today's high prices by using the low interest equity in your home to pay off credit cards, make home improvements, or simply put cold hard cash back in your pocket.
Start saving money and skip 2 mortgage payments. Call 317-706-GOLD today.
Golden Oak Lending cured my blues.
NMLS 114937.
You've undoubtedly heard of the calm before the storm. Well, Michaelis is the calm after the storm. More than 3 decades of restoring damage from wind, rain, and hail. They've got your back, not to mention your front, side, and roof. It's why home and business owners beat a path to Michaelis' door, because it's always answered around the clock with welcome arms. Your port in the storm. From site security and tarping services to complete restoration work, they can handle anything Mother Nature throws your way. Seasoned and trustworthy pros who are never deterred by a little wind and rain, or a mother load of it for that matter. Water, storms, fire, and foundations. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Call 844-FIX-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
When you call to have your home or business's heating and air serviced, what do you expect from them? The salesman in a colorful truck? Or do you expect a highly trained expert with your best intentions in mind? The answer is obvious. Call the company that treats you like family. My name's Molly Ann. I look forward to answering your call.
Family Heating and Air Conditioning is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
You might be working with someone to manage your wealth, but is the relationship working for you? Join Edelman Financial Engines on Tuesday, July 19th at 3 p.m. or 8 p.m. Eastern for our brand new virtual event, Why Choosing the Right Wealth Planner Matters, presented by best-selling author Gene Chatsky. You can register now at planefe.com. You'll see why all financial planners are not created equal. Gene will show you why having the right partner can have a big impact on your financial future and how to know if your advisor is looking out for your best interests. Don't miss this important virtual event. Join us for Why Choosing the Right Wealth Planner Matters with Gene Chatsky on Tuesday, July 19th at 3 p.m. or 8 p.m. Eastern. There's no cost to attend and no obligation. Register now at planefe.com. That's planefe.com. Edelman Financial Engines. From here forward.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight guaranteed. Only $49.99. Hypnosis to destroy unwanted craving. Lose your desire to smoke without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Seminars Thursday, July 28th at the Hampton Inn and Suites in Fishers. Weight loss seminar 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 8 to 10 p.m. And Saturday, July 30th at the La Quinta Inn and Suites South in Indianapolis. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 to 4 p.m. Registration begins 30 minutes before seminar.
Here's Terry Stacy to tell you what's going on with WIBC.
The Home and Garden Show hits the road again this week as we're headed to Anderson Speedway for the 56th annual Greg Hubler Automotive Group Redbud 400. Join us live Saturday at 9 a.m. Tune in to Pat, Kenny, and the gang on 93 WIBC. And join WIBC at Premier Arms in Brownsburg this Saturday for a live broadcast of Eat, Drink, Smoke with Tony Katz from 4 to 5, followed by The Gun Guy from 5 to 7 p.m.
Grab more info online at WIBC.com.
Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub.
Ah, Royal Spa.
5 to 1, baby. 1 in 5.
The only thing in my coffee this morning, Rob, is coffee. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. A TV news anchor out of New York was completely blasted and went on the air live to do the newscast.
Okay, so the visual is a big part of this. I mean, she looks like she just woke up from a nap.
Totally disheveled.
Yeah, and she is claiming that she was overworked and exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
So let's play a little bit of this clip of her on the air. There's 2 clips. Let's play the first one. She's getting in addition to slurring and being confused, she keeps getting the weather guy's name wrong. Take a listen.
Yeah.
More than 50 million people across the country southeast are under warnings for excessive heat. And boy, don't you know that? 105 degrees in Texas today. I just spoke with my mother. That's what she's dealing with. It's a major heat wave. And it's just heading everywhere. We're so lucky. It's only 80 degrees here. We are really lucky here in the capital region. I mean, let me tell you about that. These areas are reaching such areas. I mean, it's Houston, Austin, San Antonio. I mean, they're not expected. It has happened. Like, you don't need us telling you that it's bad. It's like people are being told to stay inside, drink a lot of water, and we are just lucky. This weekend right here is so amazing. Meteorologist Craig Adams is right here. I'm sorry, Craig Adams. Why did I say that? Of course, clearly, here we're taking a live look over downtown Albany, and of course, just like me, meteorologist Craig Gold is working a double shift, and so he's in, and we've been tracking this, and we've been talking about just what it's been like across the country and the different reasons that why it's so hot in other areas, and we're having really nice weather here. So let's get over to Craig Gold. Hey, yep. Craig.
All right. Good evening, Heather. And yeah, the weather has been quite nice here across the Northeast.
Okay, so she throws it to him half a dozen times. But doesn't really throw it to him. It'd be like, hey, Rob, what do you think? And then I just kept going and never let you talk.
You know where that happens at? A bar.
Right.
You know where that happens at? Parties. Kevin, you're a party animal. How many times have you gone up to somebody and said, let me tell you what I think, and then kept going?
Yeah, it does happen when I've had a few beers.
So there's more, right? She gets it back, and she keeps going.
All right. Thank you so much, Emma, for that report. The exhibit is open until August, so you can still check that out. Discover Schenectady. You should really check that out. They do so many good things in Schenectady. The leaders there, they are hopeful that exhibit's going to bring even more events and exhibits to the area in the future. And so moving on tonight is we have to tell you also, other news that's happening in the area and across the area. In the nation. Let me tell you about this. A 4-year-old girl is actually dead. Another man is clinging to life after shooting in Ohio.
Wow.
So she has
That's hard to go from.
I believe she's been dismissed from her job. Now, Casey, you worked in television.
She resigned, actually.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, she resigned. Thank you.
She resigned.
You worked in television.
Mm-hmm.
And look, we can show up to work dressed however we want. Now that I'm on this YouTube thing, I've started wearing shirts that are button-up shirts as opposed to sweatshirts. Not to say I won't return to those, though. So I guess we're kind of on TV now. But you worked in actual, legitimate broadcast television, where it would be very hard, I would think, to hide if you are messed up.
The camera sees everything.
Did you ever have anybody show up to?
Yes.
Oh!
Yes. One guy went to a Notre Dame football game and was supposed to come back and do the night news.
Oh, so like he said he was as a fan. He went as a fan. He wasn't reporting.
Right. No, he went as a fan during the day and was supposed to come back in the evening and couldn't do it.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What happened? Did he get the boot? Did he get the heave-ho?
I think he got the HR talk, which is don't do that again. If you do it again, there's a problem, and we're gonna have to recommend you go.
Well, it's one thing if you catch it, right? I mean, like, so let's say somebody had intercepted this woman.
They're not there anymore, by the way.
Well, right. But I mean, it's one thing if you get intercepted, somebody says, hey, Fred had a rough day today. As you said, you get the HR talk. It's another thing to allow that person to venture out into the broadcast sphere because there's no saving somebody once they're there.
Well, this woman apparently from New York had a history of coming in a little tipsy, and she was working a double shift. So she did like the morning news and then went out, had a liquid lunch, and then was coming back to do the evening news.
Sure.
Probably thought her ego thought, oh, I'm so good, they'll never be able to tell.
That's why you choose radio. Nobody can see you.